about last year, because did you ever hear about Alex Caressa, who played at up in Logan, and then he went down to BYU? He never really started, but he was kind of like the big high school kid.
Yeah.
So he played here last year.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, for sure.
Was he pretty good?
Yeah, he was like an option read kind of like running quarterback. And so like it was just.
Was it Caressa, right?
Yeah. And so he just kind of made that comparison that like Caressa kind of had that style of, backyard football that everything just like unleashed, whereas like Cantwell's more like in the pocket kind of guy.
Am I in your way if I'm standing right here? I might end up standing there for a little bit.
No, yeah, that's fine, dude. But I can even step in here a little bit more.
No, you're good, man.
Look at that. Get in here. Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
2 peas in a pod right here.
You know it.
Cool, man. This should be fun. Let me know when we go live.
We want to welcome you all out here at Badger Stadium. Snow College coming in here 5-0, about to take on a New Mexico military team that's sitting 4-2. They're second in the conference. Looks like the Badgers are going to receive. I'm Jeff Britton, joined along with Chase Metcalf. Thanks for coming along and doing the call today. So, Chase, what are we looking for right now as Snow comes in and they're going to want to pick up a W? And also, for the other hand, New Mexico military, we know they're trying to beat Snow so that if it comes down to the finals, that they can get the first 8th-place seed if they have a win over Snow College. Because it looks like the rest of Snow College's season, there's probably one game that's going to be difficult, but they could end up going undefeated. So this is big for New Mexico military.
Well, absolutely. And when you look at Snow College, you're looking at the number 2 team in the NJCAA. They have a sound defense. Their offense is above average. The biggest key for me to this game is going to be the New Mexico Military Institute's defense against the Snow College offense. New Mexico has a great offense. They score a ton of points. Their defense, not quite as good, and so really it's going to be up to Snow College to put points on the board because you do not want to get into a shootout with this team.
That was a close one there for Snow College as New Mexico military went ahead with the squib kick, and not a bad idea, and Snow College wasn't even ready for it right there.
No, they weren't, and very alert play to finally jump on that loose ball because, they're going to get the ball in great position right up near the 40, but again, a dangerous play.
That was Clapp who was able to jump on the ball, just kind of, not being aware as the special teams, and that's a big thing, big part of the Snow College offense is they got to make sure that they're being sound.
Absolutely, and looks like Stephen Cantwell out there to take the first snap. Now, he's actually second in the conference in passing yards per game, and he takes a lot of the underneath, doesn't really have a lot of the big plays, as we see there, a nice little out route, but we'll see what he can do against, again, kind of an underwhelming New Mexico defense.
Yeah, we had an opportunity in a little bit of pregame to talk with Coach Zach Connors, the offensive coordinator, and he mentioned to us a little bit about the change of the offense from last year to this year a little bit with Alex Caressa compared to Stephen Cantwell. And Cantwell really likes to stand in the pocket and throw all the underneath, where the offense really hasn't found those deep balls yet. And so we'll see if Coach Zach Connors was able to work that through with his offense this week and get it going. Big run up the middle. Yeah, that's the freshman, number 43, Josh Labrador, all the way down to the 5-yard line. Big run there.
And that's the kind of explosive plays that Snow really needs. Again, not playing a great defense, but big plays like that are huge momentum builders. It gets your whole team fired up. And we heard the offensive coordinator say they wanted to start fast.
Right.
They wanted to score points, and they wanted to do so quickly. And right there is the perfect example of what they were hoping to do coming into today's game.
Interesting enough, it looks like Snow College will keep the offense on. They're not going to go for one. They're going to go for two right here. And also, that's interesting that on the second play of the game, Coach Zach Connors decides to go with a run. He said the running has not been big this year, and they're confused because of such their big offensive line. And so if you look at that offensive lineup, and we'll go through it in a minute, as that second two-point conversion sneaks his way in there. Big run, number 3.
And, I think that was actually the touchdown. I don't think that on the initial run he quite got in. So
that's my bad.
No, you're fine. But a big play there. Again, 3 plays into the game. You're already up 6 with a chance to go up 7-0. Again, just the start that they were really looking for. And I'm sure Brittmont is very pleased with his offensive performance on that first drive.
No, yeah, that's right there who got the touchdown, Stephen Shepard. Stephen Shepard's been a big player this year and last year for the Badgers. And now they take the 7-0 lead. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back to Badger Stadium as the Badgers are set to kick off. Back to return it, number 2, Ray Padilla, and also number 12. That's not on the roster, my bad.
Doing a big return. And again, this is where New Mexico is dangerous. They have a lot of big explosive plays. Their special teams is good. Their offense is very good. And now as the Badger defense takes the field, it's really going to be all on them to really get some stops, get their offense back out on the field, and get enough rest to where they're not on the field too much, playing against, again, a pretty stellar New Mexico Military Institute Bronco offense.
That was Troy Gatling. Sorry, I thought he was number 12, but that's number 32. Able to pick up a solid 29 yards, and, of course, now sitting good for the New Mexico Military offense. Taking the field at quarterback, number 11, Connor Kramer, in the shotgun. Little end around there, and able to pick up some good yardage. Smaller player there, number 3. That's Sinclair Laskett. He's a sophomore running back, 5'10", 185, out of Florida. Big pickup there on first down. That's what you like to see, a big 6-yard gain about.
And it's interesting, that's only his 3rd rush on the year. And so interesting that right out of the gate, they're calling his number. But I think they like him a lot. He's got some speed, especially if you can get him to the outside, which is what they're trying to do.
Little backward pass there. Nothing going for the New Mexico Military, as number 10, Curtis Tafua, was there to make the tackle for a huge loss. Now it's going to be about 3rd down and 9.
And that's really going to be the key for this Badger defense. Can they force New Mexico into these 3rd down and longs? 3rd and 9 after a big stop there on 2nd down. And so we'll kind of have to monitor that throughout the game. But again, getting them down into 3rd and long, because 3rd and short is where New Mexico wants to be. It's where they thrive.
Connor Kramer down the sideline, had him open, was unable to connect with number 32 again. That's your Troy Gatling. Gatling is a redshirt sophomore wide receiver, 6'3", 190 pounds. So that's a big receiver right there, but the Badgers able to hold him off, and that's a good 3 and out.
You know, and it looked like he actually had a step there on the defender, but just overthrown ever so slightly. And again, that's a big stop for the Badger defense. Get off the field, get your offense back on, a 3 and out, and again, Coach Mon has got to be very, very pleased with the way his team has come out these first couple of minutes.
Exactly, and Coach Mon has been the defensive coordinator here at at Snow College for a long time, and he continues to have success. Good spiral punt there and gets a good roll. Fielded by the Badgers, and he's able to break a few tackles out to the 30-yard line. That was pretty good moves there. Was that number 1, Parker Prater for the Badgers.
And again, you'll see that the Badgers, because of that 3 and out, are going to get the ball back in some pretty good field position. They were able to take advantage last time due to a big run on second down, and so we'll see what they dial up here, but you've got to be pleased with the way they've played so far, getting the ball again in great field position and hoping to take advantage and go up by a couple scores.
So some big players on that Badger offensive line. Let's see if the Badgers go back to the run. Cantwell wide open, giving up the first down and then stepping out of bounds. That's number 14 for the Badgers, Alex Krell. Krell's been a huge target for Cantwell this whole season, and it's just that short underneath stuff. If I'm Coach Connors, I'm happy with that short 5-yard pass, but he picks up another 5
Well, and what opens
yards.
that up is you see he's sending some receivers deep, and so they're dropping back into that zone coverage, and it's taken the safeties and the corners deep, which allows that underneath route to be open and give him 7-8 yards to run after the catch.
Looks like Cantwell was hit right there as he released. Incomplete to number 2, Jonah Trineman.
Now, Trineman is the guy you really want to watch out for. He is outstanding. He's committed to BYU. Okay, he's second in he actually leads the conference in receiving yards per game as well as touchdowns. So he's going to be a huge target today for Campman. Look for him to kind of open things up for this Badger offense. Yeah,
and it's interesting because he always finds a way to get open, and I think that's big. He reminds me a lot of a Wes Welker type of receiver. He's able to be quick and able to get to his open spots and make the break on his routes, and so it's able to get open quicker.
And he's not a big guy. He's only 5'11", 186, but he knows how to use his frame and his speed, perfectly, and that's what's gotten him so much success, and obviously the recognition to where he's D1 bound.
Yeah, huge run there. Steven Shepard just putting his head down and picking up about 6 yards. That's huge for the Badgers. Now you're looking at 3rd down and short for the Badgers as they make a few substitutions.
This is a big 3rd down here for New Mexico Military. Again, if they can force a stop here, get their offense back on the field, the last thing they want to do is allow Snow to sustain these long drives. Their defense is out there getting tired while Snows is sitting on the bench and resting, and this is a big 3rd down for them.
And that was the thing you pointed out the first of the game. Which defense is going to be off the field more, which is going to be more productive? And it looks like New Mexico Military steps up right there and makes the tackle. It looks like number 43 was there on the tackle for New Mexico Military. That's Sharmer Boobsby probably.
And that's a huge stop for that defense. And it looks like Snow is going to send their punter out there. And so, again, Snow got a first down. They're going to flip field position again as long as they can, hopefully pin this punt down inside the 20. And then it's just going to be an uphill battle again for that Bronco offense. And, big for them, though, to get off the field after just a handful of plays.
Panasolo set to punt. It looks like set to receive. It's Vince Martin. No, correction, that's number 87. It looks like it may have hit him. And it didn't hit him, so that 87 elected to get away from it, and that was Edward K. So,
and Ivan King is able to scoop that ball up, and again, at the 6.5-yard line, it looks like where they're going to get the ball. And so, again, field position plays such a huge role in these games. And so, even though Snow didn't score on that last drive, they got the ball in good field position. They moved the ball about 15 yards, and that's what allows them to punt the ball, get it down inside the 10. And once again, just an outstanding job by the special teams. And now it's the defense's turn to see if they can shut down this offense, this Bronco offense.
Exactly. So handoff up the middle, going nowhere for looks like, can't see it quite yet. That's the running back, number 21, Daryl Wiggins. And there at the line of scrimmage to meet him was Brendan Elder. And it looks like a gain of 1, 2nd down and 9.
And again, this front 7 for Snow College is very stout. You're not going to get a lot of yards on them. I know they've had some success, New Mexico has, running the ball. Have a couple of backs that average over 5 and 6 yards per carry, but against Snow, it's kind of a different story.
Connor Kramer able to sneak right up the middle. Nothing open in the middle, opened wide up. I don't know if that was a designated draw. I don't know if you saw anything.
I don't think it was. I think he was looking to pass, but the way that middle opened up, I don't think he saw anyone downfield, and he was content just taking the 5-yard scramble to give him, again, 3rd and short. This is where they want to be. This is where they feel like they can be successful. So big 3rd down for them.
Play action right across the middle. Bad pass there. It was intended for Cedarius Young, and the Badgers there on the coverage, and so exactly what you were talking about, Chase. Quick 3 and out again for New Mexico Military, and Snow's defense stout once again.
Exactly, and you know what forced that underthrown ball is the pressure. There were 2 guys right in his backfield to where he didn't have the time to set his feet and get the strike that he wanted, and so it was a low pass and really never had a chance to get to the receiver. And so another fantastic job done by the Snow defense, and you can see that their punt returner standing right at midfield. They're expecting to get the ball back. An absolutely fantastic field position. So well done again by this Badger defense.
Pretty decent high punt. That goes for about 40 yards and fielded at about the 40-yard line. That's by Parker Prater. He's able to break a few tackles. Gets up to the 52-yard line. And this is where the Snow College offense will take over. What did you see on the last drive by Snow College? What was good? And then what was a little struggle why they went 3 and out?
It seemed like they kind of got a little conservative. They ran the ball on 2nd down, only picked up a couple yards, threw an incomplete pass, and then elected to run it there on 3rd and long, which, you know, they have a lot of confidence in that run game, which is fine, but it seems like, again, they're content just taking a couple yards at a time, getting the underneath stuff, trying to establish that run game. It wouldn't surprise me, though, if they start taking a shot. It looks like they got single coverage there on the outside, and so we'll see what they elect to do here on 1st down.
So Cantwell steps up, open in the middle. That's Crail. Big yardage there, 13 yards on the play.
And just a fantastic job just buying himself some time. And that's what really opened up. There was nothing open initially. He kind of stepped up in the pocket. He had good protection, and that's what allowed him to find that wide open receiver.
So who would you say is the New Mexico Military defense standout player right now for them as they come in against the Badgers?
You know, that's a good question. As I think I'd have to go with Williams. You know, he's 4th in the conference in sacks. He's got 7.5 sacks this year already. He's a disruptor. You know, he gets in the backfield. He'll get after the quarterback. You know, he's great at stopping the run. And so I think that in order for New Mexico's defense to have any chance at stopping this Snow College offense, he has got to be the tone center. He's got to put pressure on the quarterback early and often. And really, if he has the opportunity, he cannot miss out on an opportunity to sack Cantwell.
Perfect. So Labrador right there was able to pick up about 1.5 yards, just put his head down and was met by a host of New Mexico Military. Cantwell gets sacked. Big play there by number 97 of New Mexico Military, Xavier Garcia. He's out of Austin, Texas. And the Broncos able to pick up a great 2nd down play. So now it's 3rd down and 15. What do you drop right here on 3rd down and 15, Chase?
That's a great question. I think at this point, you're comfortable taking a shot and really trying to get that 1st down, looking at where you're at on the field. If you don't get it, that's fine. You can still pin them back down into in their own territory real deep and give your defense a chance. Your defense is forced back-to-back 3 and outs. You have confidence in your defense, and so there's no reason here for me not to take a shot and really try and pick up that 1st down. It looks like that's what they're going to do.
Cantwell hit as he throws and almost picked off right there. Intended receiver was number 90 running across the middle, Wesley Karuka, and there on the coverage closely gets
David Goodwin.
David Goodwin almost gets it, so kind of interesting how that works out.
And to be honest with you, the receiver did an absolutely fantastic job making sure that Goodwin didn't end up with that interception. He kind of was bobbling it, and it looked like he got in there and kind of swiped it away from him, so he couldn't end up getting that interception. So a dangerous pass under pressure by Cantwell. We're lucky that falls incomplete, and let's get the punting unit back out there, see if we can pin him deep again.
Yeah, so Panazzolo set to punt again in about the 44-yard line. Nearly blocked, but a good punt. Fair catch at the 10, and that's exactly where it will be called. We're going to take a quick break as teams take the field. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back. Here's Badger Stadium. 7:44 left. Snow leads it 7-0. Up the middle there for the Broncos, tackled by Save right there at the line of scrimmage. No yardage. That was number 21, Daryl Wiggins. He was able to maybe pick up a yard. And so the Broncos elect to go right to the run game there.
And I think Snow College is really excited about Save. He's a big guy, 6'5", 290 defensive lineman. He's a sophomore. He has some experience, and just like you saw there, he can really disrupt the backfield as he stops him for essentially no gain.
Yeah, it's really nice. You can get pressure with only 3 blitzing there. Going deep over the top. He left his man.
And that one's on the receiver right there.
He slowed up, and he just didn't continue to run. A little disappointing there. I believe it was number Josh Fairchild, or who was it?
I think that might have been Ray Padilla out there, and if you look at it, he had 4 or 5 steps there on the defense, and really no excuse not to be able to locate that ball. The quarterback threw it in a spot where he could have run under it, and he kind of slowed up. You could see he was trying to find it. The sun's right in his eyes. It's at a tough angle right now, but that's an opportunity you have to be able to make on second down for your team who's struggling on offense right now.
7 minutes left in the first quarter, and able to find an open receiver, Kramer, right there. Complete pass, picks up about 15 yards for number 15, Bryant Richardson, and was tackled by Braxton Winterton.
And that's a big, big third down conversion for this New Mexico team. They had 2 straight 3-and-outs. They were facing 3rd and long. A great job by the quarterback to kind of roll out, set his feet, and find the open guy who was streaking just across that first down marker.
Yeah, interesting. Not a whole lot of pressure there by the Badgers, and then they're playing soft in the coverage and just able to find a hole in the zone across the middle, and that's how the Broncos were able to pick up the first down. Kramer looking for over-the-top receiver, and unable to do so.
Looks like we got 2 flags down there. 2 flags there on the field. There's one that's right at the line of scrimmage, almost in an offsides position, and then one that came down in the secondary, it looks like, which could be in the area of holding on the defense. So we'll see what the refs decide to do on this.
Yeah, it was interesting when the receiver looked back for the ball. It looks like the Badger defense was right there and possibly could be a pass interference, but we'll see what they'll call.
And it actually looks like it might have been fouls on both teams.
Legal motion. Offense number 87. Holding defense number 22. Those penalties offset. Replay first down.
So it ends right there.
There you have it.
First
so an illegal formation. It looks like 87 for New Mexico. Didn't quite get set. That's going to be Edward Kia. And, he's got to get set before that ball is snapped. And then just as we thought, as they were throwing that corner route, looks like he was being held up a little bit. So they offset. We'll replay first down, and you'll take that, I think, if you're New Mexico.
Nearly jumped off sides there, but Kramer keeps it up the middle and picks up a yards as they were running the option play. He was met by Dax Eisinger and about 2 yards on the play.
And Eisinger is another player that they love on this defense. 6'1", 225 from Alpine, Utah. He's just a freshman. He has a ton of tackles for this team. And, that's his responsibility on that quarterback read. His job is the quarterback, and you see him perform it admirably there.
Hand up the middle, number 20, that's Caleb Estrada, able to pick up another few yards, and so now it's 3rd down and short again.
And again, this is what they want. They feel like they can be successful on 3rd and 5 or less. And so you run the ball a couple times, pick up positive yardage. The last thing you want to do is give up a negative play. So you get down to this 3rd and short. And we saw them pick it up last time on 3rd and long. We'll see how they do now on 3rd and short.
So Kramer in the offset shotgun. Fake handoff across the middle, wide open. Finds a good little crossing route. That's number 31 for the Broncos, Andrew Yates, and he was met by Justice Brown.
And Brown actually had pretty good coverage there. He was pretty tight, and that's just a better throw from Kramer. And, offense is going to beat good defense every time, and that's just what that case was. There was a great route that was run, and Kramer really stuck it in there right where the receiver could get it, and Brown couldn't.
Toss out to the side, number 21, able to pick up a few yards. Wiggins able to just find the corner and pick up another 4 yards, and so it looks like this Bronco offense is starting to find its rhythm with 4:44 left in the first quarter.
Exactly, and this is what we said from the get-go. That offense, a couple 3 and outs to get going. They didn't panic. Here they are, a couple first downs later, and they're moving the ball. They got 1st and 10 here at about the 44-yard line, and this is where they want. They're okay taking their time, moving the ball, giving their defense a much-needed rest, and Kramer's playing really well on this drive.
Kramer forced to make outside and unable to make a tackle. It looked like number 10 for the Badgers was Curtis Tafua, and Kramer able to pick up the yardage. You got to settle and you got to make tackles on those plays.
And an absolutely beautiful job there by Kramer. He escapes the pocket. He gave a little pump fake, which just faked the defense out long enough to where he could slip by him and get enough for the first down. The other thing that's very, very admirable about his game is he is not taking hits. He's getting into an open space, and then he is sliding because he knows how important he is to this offense.
Yeah, and you don't want to take hits or you end up like a lot of other quarterbacks, the running style quarterbacks that end up with injuries. Attacking deep over the top, that's caught. Touchdown, number 19, Sadius Young.
And again, this is what this Bronco offense is capable of, the big play. They've picked up 3 or 4 first downs quickly on that drive. They were taking their time, and then boom, they'll beat you deep. And they've had a couple of those now where the receiver's gotten 2 or 3 steps there on the defense. They finally connect on this one. A beautiful passing catch there from Kramer, and really well done.
Snow College really couldn't catch another few breaks as they've caught 2 or 3 downfield passes where they were caught sleeping. And finally, the Broncos really capitalize on that, and they're able to get it in. And so now they're only down by a point and probably going to tie it up right here with the extra point with 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in the first quarter. Number 99, Nicholas Litlang. Looks like it's going to be false start on the kicking team, and they'll probably have to move back another 5 yards.
See what the refs tell us here.
Well, they're looking over the New Mexico military sideline, so it looks like it's going to be on Snow College.
And they were looking, it looked like the head coach there wanted to actually decline that penalty. However, because the play was stopped, because the penalty stops the play before it develops, even though he made the kick, it came after the whistle blew, and therefore he can't decline, and they'll just have to re-kick it.
Right, and usually on those offsides, they don't usually blow the whistle, but they did on this one because usually you run into problems with people running into the kicker and those kind of issues.
Anytime they feel like they're unevaded to the kicker, the quarterback, whatever it may be, they're going to call the play dead in order to protect the safety of the players.
So the Broncos are able to put the equalizer on the board, 7-7, 3:45 in the first quarter. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a minute. Squib kick again by New Mexico Military. It seems like Snow College didn't prepare for that, but that just seems like the way the Broncos have been kicking the ball.
You know, and it's interesting. I'm wondering if they're trying to keep it away from Prater, the Snow College deep return man. He's an explosive guy who's had some success on special teams, and so they're content just to give the squib kick there, kind of just float it up, and Snow College calls for a fair catch at the 30-yard line, and I think Snow's fine taking it there as well. I mean, they're great field position all game so far for them.
Yeah, and even if they don't fair catch it, it gives them a good amount of time for the kick return team to come down and field it. And 3 minutes, 43 seconds, 7-7 in the first quarter as Cantwell sits in the gun. Little end around, finds the crease, and he's almost broken free. That's number 83 for the Badgers, Hayden Weechers. And on the tackle was Randy Hooks. If Hooks would have not caught that on his feet, on his ankles, Weechers was probably gone.
You know, Hooks with probably a touchdown-saving tackle there, and that's big. But again, another nice play. Snow likes their speed. They're getting their guys to the outside. You know, we've seen them run a couple times, kind of the end around to get to the outside. And this one goes for 13 yards, and they're content picking that up and getting the first down and moving on to the next play.
Yeah, and Weechers was able to find the gap because it looked like he was going to be sacked or tackled for a loss, and he was able to find a crease and get upfield. So it looks like the Badgers are finally starting to find a little bit of offensive goal on the ground. As that run picks up 5, Cantwell kept it. Looks like they went to kind of more of like an option read. The tackle was made by Frank Selalui, would be my guess on his name. And now the Badgers looking at second down and about 6, 3 minutes left in the first quarter. 7-7 is the score.
And Snow, I mean, Cantwell's not really known as a runner, but they're content having him jump ahead. I mean, he gains 4 yards, gets him again in 2nd and 6, second and manageable. And again, they're content taking those underneath plays, those plays that only go for, between 3 and 5 yards, because they believe their offense is good enough to where they can pick up those chunk plays little by little and just march the ball down the field. And especially after their defense was on the field for, upwards of 8 minutes, they need a little bit of rest as well. And so this is providing much needed rest for the defense, who just gave up a big play and a big drive. And so it's very important for Snow to make sure that they sustain a drive here and don't just throw their defense back out there. Against a New Mexico offense, it looks like it's clicking now.
Right, and it really is. They're finally starting to find that crease, and the Badgers, after their first drive, they haven't really found any of that deep offensive production that they found on the one run by Labrador. Good pickup there, and making a miss. That's number 2 for the Badgers, Jonah Trineman. And Trineman able to pick up a good amount of yards and was tackled by Vince Martin. Now Trineman, we mentioned him earlier, makes the first guy miss, and then makes the second guy miss, then picks up about 15 yards.
He is a special talent, and you mentioned it before. He's not a huge guy, but man, is he shifty. And you see the way that he shifts a couple guys and makes a miss and gains 15 on a play that really should have gained about 8.
Yeah, Shamar Boosby is on the coverage on him right now, so that's a huge role for Boosby, and you can kind of tell he gives him a lot of space as that end around for number 31, Greg Wright, doesn't pick up any yardage on that. And he was met by Frank Silalui again. Silalui is really finding his way around.
Mm-hmm. And again, he's not a guy who's, crazy big. He's only 6'1", and, funny enough, 6'1" sounds big, but for a defensive lineman, from what we're used to seeing, it's not huge, but he's very strong, he's very powerful, and we've seen him already. He's made 3 or 4 plays where he's been in the Badger backfield disrupting things.
So a minute 30 left in the first quarter, 7-7 your score, and the Badgers are sitting about the 43-yard line. Cantwell trying to find some time. It's a screen, and it's set up perfectly for Shepard, and he gets a block, and then he just runs through a bunch of players of the Broncos, but the final tackle was made by number 28, Vince Martin, number 17.
And again, another play. And the key there is Cantwell, if you look, he holds the ball long enough to where the defensive line has sold out. And that's what you want. They're all chasing the quarterback. He gives enough time to where he allows the running back to slip in. They've overcommitted. And again, another beautiful play that picks up a first down.
Oh yeah, it's a great play to run with 50 seconds left on the clock in the first quarter. And you love to see the Badgers starting to move it, nearing the 30-yard line. Cantwell, straight run up the middle, gets about a yard, and it looks like they'll have to run one play before the end of the first half, and it looks like it was met by Letty Manu was there to make the stop. I really wasn't satisfied with that play. It looked like Cantwell couldn't find really anything open.
Well, it's interesting. Again, we've kind of talked about this, how Cantwell's not really a big read option quarterback. Yeah, that's the second time that they've done that. Kind of had him pull out and read the defense and kind of go right up the middle with it. So it's interesting that they're calling that. I think that they're thinking that they're going to be able to get some things up the middle on some misdirections, but, gain of 2.
Huge run up the middle. That's number 30 for the Badgers. Moores was able to pick up, it looks like a first down, and the clock will stop because the chains were moved, but then they just ran it down. So that's the end of the first quarter. The Badgers 7, the Broncos 7. The Badgers are now close to ending in the red zone, but we're going to take a break here on Snow TV. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Fans, we'd like to thank Mountain America Credit Union.
Welcome back, Badger Stadium. I'm Jeff Britton, joined along with Chase Metcalf. Chase, give me a rundown of your credentials so I can know a little bit about you. The fans want to know.
The fans want to know. Well, currently I'm studying broadcast journalism at BYU. As we look at a brilliant play right there, and Snow's going to score. First play of the second quarter, a run right up the middle, and wow.
Riley Richmond was able to pick up that yardage, someone you never usually see. He sneaked up right in the middle and was able to pick up the touchdown.
It's interesting. This is the third time that they've gone with a feature back other than Shepard, who is their feature back, and each time it's gone for a big play. And so they love the handful of running backs that they can go to and that they can trust. And so even if it's not Shepard, if he's sitting down, they feel like they can stick another guy in there and they're going to have success, as we saw right there, as a beautiful touchdown run from about 22 yards out.
Yeah, I feel like Steven Shepard's that downhill runner that just beats up on your defense. He just keeps running right up in their gut, and then you put in like Riley Richmond right there, you put in Moores, and you also put in the other great running back of Labrador, and you put those runners in, and they're more of that off-tackle kind of style running, and you're able to break that kind of stuff open, and so in all reality you see those great opportunities.
Absolutely, and again, another drive that Snow really needed. After giving up the big play to New Mexico, they tied it up 7-7. They convert on a couple of third downs to keep the drive moving, end up scoring the touchdown. A big drive for them, and just as important as they gave their defense a chance to rest after the defense was out there for an 8-minute drive that was sustained by New Mexico. So big play for them, and again, Coach Mon has got to be pretty happy with the way his offense has looked so far.
Yeah, so last week, New Mexico Military was able to put up 35 points against Mesa Community College, who scored 28, and so they were able to pick up a win last week. And also Snow College put up 60 points against Phoenix, and it was a great matchup for Snow College. And it looks like the Broncos elect not to return it, and so that'll be a touchback to the 20-yard line.
And now we'll see New Mexico's offense and get back out here on the field. And again, Kramer had an absolutely, after going 3 and out on his first 2 series, has an absolutely phenomenal drive. They even had a play on that last drive where he had a guy open downfield. Overthrew maybe a little bit. We kind of discussed and thought it was a throw that the receiver should have caught. that didn't phase him. He goes right back to the deep play, throws a perfect strike into the end zone, ties it up at 7-7. And so we'll see where his confidence is at going up against this Badger defense after sitting on the bench there for the last few minutes.
Yeah, so the Broncos take the field, of course, led by Connor Kramer. Let's see what he can do with his offensive right now. Sending the safety blitz, and right where they blitz from, they run, and able to pick up a huge amount of, well, a good amount of yards, about 9 yards on the carry. A good run there, and just right up the middle, that was number 47, Jalen Horn.
Gain of about 8 on the play. Second down.
So 14:30 left in the first half. Second down and 2. The ball on the 33-yard line, and it's 14-7.
And again, they're content picking up a few yards, and they're going for the deep play again. He's got a man.
Great defense there by Parker Prater, the son of the other Prater that's at BYU. I guess that family just loves to breed the DBs.
Well, when you have the athletic gene in your family, it's going to show, and absolutely fantastic. It looked like the receiver had a step on him. Prater made up the difference there in the distance right as the ball was coming in, enough to get that left hand in there just to deflect it enough to where it falls incomplete. Great effort.
Kramer put it there close. Little out route there, thrown and caught. That looks like it's going to be a first down. That was caught by number 3, Sinclair Laskett, who's kind of been a big presence for, or a big target for Kramer. Now, Sinclair Laskett's a sophomore running back, 5'10", 185, out of Bradenton, Florida.
And he did a great job adjusting. That ball was thrown a little low. He knew right where the first down was. He went low, he got it, made sure that he was across that marker, and a big third down conversion there by the Broncos.
He just wanted to pick up the first down there, and looks like Kramer and his receivers are starting to find their rhythm and get on cue on these short routes, as number 32 was able to make the catch. That was Troy Gatling.
And again, just picking up a few yards at a time. Last time we saw they converted 3 or 4 third downs before they took that deep shot. They're not afraid to take the deep shot. They've already taken about 3 of them, completed 1, and they're okay if they're not completing that deep ball. They're okay just first down, 7 yards. As you see right there, another 7 yards and a first down.
Yes, second down and 2. They picked it up. It was short. Sinclair Laskett was his target again. They're just finding that middle stuff open, and it looks like Coach Mon is noticing his defense a little hesitant on these last few plays, so he'll send in a line of substitutions, and it looks like the Broncos are wanting to run. They're wanting to speed things up right now.
And what's nice is because the Broncos substituted, it allows the Badgers to substitute, and they can't go that quick hurry up as, Kramer with a big run here.
Wide open as they sent the whole house on that one, but in all reality, great coverage there by the secondary of the Badgers. And he was able to pick up about 30 yards.
It was a good coverage, but again, you've got to put pressure on the quarterback, but you cannot break contain. If he gets out of the pocket, there's got to be someone there who's kind of spying on him. There wasn't, and he breaks out for about 30 yards. And again, that's another big play that the Broncos pick up, and that's what they're known for. They can go on a long 8-minute drive, but they'd prefer to pick up the big play.
So Kramer putting the ball up into the end zone. He just needs to turn around, and sure enough, there comes out the flag because number 21 for the Badgers, Ivan King, was not even looking back at the quarterback. And I know that's not a huge rule in college football compared to the NFL, but in all reality, you've got to not put your hands on the receiver. You've got to turn around and make a play. If he would have turned around, he might have made an interception right there.
He was all over him, and that ball was seriously underthrown. And I think King just panicked because he thought that he was beat by a couple steps, and so unable to turn around and look at the ball. He essentially tackled him, and he really didn't need to. If he turns around, the ball is thrown 4 or 5 yards short of where it needed to be, and so kind of a mental mistake there by King. He's got to turn around. He's young. It's something you'll hope he learns, but kind of a big penalty there.
And so now in the red zone is the Broncos. First down and 10. Wide open, number 20. He'll prance right into the end zone. Touchdown. That's number 20, Caleb Estrada, wide open out of the backfield. And now it's tied again, 14, or it will be 14-13, 12-24 left in the first half.
And just a simple wheel route that's run there. And, he's speedy. Estrada is a very speedy guy. but there was no one even on him. And you got to have someone who's covering the running back. Estrada's very, very good out of the backfield. He's fast, he's got good hands, and essentially he caught the ball and he walked right in untouched. And again, this is what that offense is capable of. We talked about it pregame, how the New Mexico offense can put up a lot of points and they will hang with you. And it looks like we might have a shootout here on our hands.
It's interesting that that's the fact as the field goes up and good, is that you said we do not want to see a shootout because in a shootout, possibly New Mexico military could come up with a win and just have the defense play a little bit better.
Exactly.
So 14-14, 12:24 left in the first half. We'll be back after a little break. Welcome back to Badger Stadium. I'm Jeff Britton, joined along with Chase Metcalf. Now number 99, Nicholas Lelang sends that kick spiraling end over end, and really in all reality, great field possession again at the 40-yard line as number 49, Zachariah Tuli is able to field it, fumbled it, but he got on top of it.
And again, another short kick, and I'm not quite understanding what their strategy is here. I mean, giving them the ball at the 40-yard line, at that point you might as well just try an onside kick and try and get the ball. I understand if you want to keep it out of Preter's hands, that's understandable. He's speedy, he's had some success. But
you want to put it down by like 20-yard line.
You would think, but again, it seems like they're just content to keep giving Snow these short fields. And so far, Snow's been able to take advantage with a couple of good drives, and we'll see if they're able to do so again.
So Cantwell has a whole lot going in the backfield, and they give off to Shepard, and he finds a little crease in the offensive line and picks up about 5 yards. Second down and 5, 12-12 left in the first half, 14-14 your score.
And Shepard is just breaking arm tackles. You're not going to be able to bring this guy down if you're just sticking an arm out. He probably broke about 3 or 4 on that run alone, and even though it's only a gain of 5, it was really a run that could have been stopped, for no gain or a gain of 1. But Shepard, again, he's shifty, he's powerful, he's a good runner, and Snow really, really likes this guy.
I love his vision on that play as he ran into the back of one of his offensive linemen and then realized he had a little lane off to the left, and he just went off that way and was able to pick up the 5 yards because he was met in the backfield.
And you look, Trinneman signaling, he had single coverage on the outside, and they're going to hand the ball off again to Shepard, who goes up the middle for another gain of 3. But interesting, it seems as though they've got Trinneman single covered there on the outside, and they're content just taking the 3 or 4 yard run, and I would assume though that establishing this run game is going to really set them up for a deep shot here, at some point in the game.
That's a very true statement there, and we've been waiting to see that, and I think everyone's been waiting to see that type of style of offense for Snow College. In all reality, because Coach Connors has mentioned it, they want to get things going downfield, but this kind of offense is doing well for them, just pounding it out, playing some hard-nosed offense. Pass across the middle, that was to number 9, Dalton Fackrell, and Fackrell unable to hold on as Corey Williams was right there to meet him. So now it's going to be 4th down and 2 yards, 10:54 left in the first half, 14-14, and it looks like Snow College is going to go for it. Now, what's your feeling on this call right now, Chase?
I like it. I think 2 yards to go. Snow feels like they've got a couple of plays that they could call here where they can pick it up. Their defense has looked a little shaky the past couple plays, so I think that they'd rather keep the ball here and take that chance than just punt it back to them. I like it. I like the call by Coach Mon. We'll see what he's dialed up here.
So Cantwell open and unable to connect.
Oh, and it looked like, and again, that's Dijon Murray that was there in the coverage. It looked like he might have gotten there a little early, but the ref standing right there says no way. And that's a big stop by this Bronco defense, and they're going to take over again in great field position past midfield.
Exactly, and I think you have enough trust in the defense to pick up a stop right here. But at the same time, that's a call that you gotta be gutsy sometimes. And so, Coach Mon, he's gutsy on one play. We'll see if his defense, which he trusts so much, are able to pick up a 3-and-out right here. Because if not, and New Mexico is able to go down and score, they're going to put themselves in a really, really sticky situation.
It's true, and I'm surprised that they threw the ball there. I thought that, handing the ball off to Shepard on 4th and a short 2 was the route that they were going to go, and probably the route they should have gone. But hindsight's always 20/20, and we'll see what the defense can do.
And now it looks like Kramer and his receivers, number 19, was just able to connect, and they're finding their rhythm. That was Cedarius Young, and he was met by Ben Bergenson. And now it looks like, in all reality, the Broncos are starting to have this second quarter like Snow College's first quarter, where the ball was moving a lot.
Exactly, and we talked about this before the game. Again, the big story is going to be this offense. They put up a lot of points. And they're moving the ball. They're taking their shots downfield. They're opening up the offense. They just picked up another first down on that run. And, it's going to be up to the Badger defense to find a way to get some stops.
Wiggins was able to pick up 5 yards on that, so it's first down and 10 from it looks like about the 36-yard line. 10 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first half. Snow sends the pressure, and it looks like they'll get it. It looks like there was almost a fumble on the play.
Oh, and you know what? I think they're going to get a penalty. It looks like, and I can't quite tell who that is, but his helmet came off, and he continued to play. And in college football, if the helmet comes off, you have to stop. You are not allowed to continue in the play. And it's so hard to sit there, and just your instincts are to keep going. And it looks like that was actually number 94, Simode Loa. And it's so hard just to stop and say, okay, no, I can't play anymore. But I would imagine that that's what this penalty is going to be.
Yeah, and that's a tough break for Snow College, because I think you mentioned his name, Handsome Tianilui, or is it Simone Lua? That's just instinct, You're just going to continue to play. You use your helmet, you got to continue to play. And it would have been, second down and about a close 20 yards, and now you're going to get, first down and probably closer to 5. So.
Participated in the play after his helmet came off.
Yeah, and just as we thought, it's a 15-yard penalty. And really, he didn't need to. And again, I totally get where he's coming from. It is so hard to know. It's just your instinct. You've been playing football your whole life. It's your instinct. The quarterback's right there to go get him. The truth is, though, there were a couple of defenders there that could have made the sack for him. I don't think he needed to, and instead of it being 2nd and 20, like you mentioned, it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 21.
So in all reality, that 4th down is now looking like it can be a costly call, but let's see what the Badgers can do. They almost get it there. And Kramer was able to find time, and somehow, no, he was out of bounds. But interesting, Kramer found so much time. He was 20 yards deep from the line of scrimmage.
And credit the Badgers there. They had 2 guys in the backfield right as the play started. And Kramer, just again, a great athlete, escapes the pressure and zings one. And really, that was almost caught. It looks like the ref said that he had a foot out of bounds as he reeled that in, but very close there. And credit Jance Arbin there with the coverage, because he was right there as well.
Yeah, so now Kramer and Wiggins in the backfield. Kramer getting pressured again by the Badger defense and unable to make a tackle, throwing low. It was intended for number 19, Cedarius Young. It's thrown low, and right there on the coverage was Dax Eisinger.
And Dax, again, we mentioned his name earlier. He is a huge contributor to this defense. He's probably their best linebacker. And again, he's been in the backfield a couple of plays in a row now, forcing the quarterback out and into a throw that it didn't look like Kramer was comfortable with, and kind of just threw it right into the dirt.
So now the Badgers face 3rd down and 10. 9:57 left in the first half. 14-14 is your score. And Kramer pressure again. It looks like a lot of those Badger defenders are getting held up. And Kramer somehow is finding a lot of time. Across the middle, incomplete. It's going to be 4th down, and not going to take any second guesses as head coach Joe Forchinger is going to send on his field goal unit and an attempt to kick, number 99, Nicholas Litting. And let's see what they can do here from this field goal is going to be about a 40-yard field goal.
And on that last play, I mean, we just mentioned his name. Eisinger was in the backfield the previous 2 plays. He was actually in coverage that play, and the one who got in the way and made sure that there was no Bronco receiver that ended up on the receiving end of that pass. So he does a little bit of everything. Leads the team in tackles, can drop into coverage. Well done.
Badgers almost get there, unable to do so, and it looks like up and good. So now the score, the Badgers 14 and the Broncos 17. We'll take a quick break here on Snow TV. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back to Snow TV. I'm Jeff Brinton, joined along by Chase Metcalf. Badgers 4th down and 2, decide to go for it. The Broncos able to capitalize, and they go kick a field goal.
And another short kick, but this is what we were talking about. If you're going to short kick it down to the 20 and allow your coverage to get down there and make a play, and that's just what they did. It was another short kick that kept it out of the hands of Prater, but they're able to get him down to the 20.
Yeah, because Prater was on the opposite side of the field, about the 5-yard line, and had to field it at the 20, so he's running about 50 yards to field that. The other part of the team is running about 50 itself, so by the time everyone meets, he doesn't have much room to do much.
Exactly, and so for the first time tonight, Snow's not going to get the ball in great field position, and so we'll see what they can do. Again, stop down on 4th down and 2. They went for it at midfield. They didn't get it. It ended up costing them about 3 points, and so it'll be big for them to respond, and their defense is getting tired, and you can tell. And so, hopefully they can keep a good drive going and allow their defense to get some rest.
So 1st down and 10 from the 20, 9:40 left in the first half. Snow College 14, the Broncos 17. Cantwell finds an open Trineman, who's met right at the line by number 39 of the Broncos. That is Katril Kafufi, I believe. And so the Badgers pick up of about a yard.
That's great coverage there by Kufi. It looks like, he was right there, and the biggest thing is once the catch was made, a sure tackle. Wrapped him up, brought him down, didn't go for the big hit, and that's a nice play for the Bronco defense.
So Cantwell, plenty of time in the pocket, right over the top. He's got a wide open man and unable to connect. That was number 34 for the Badgers, Phil Tafua. Now it's 3rd down and 9.
And he had him,
on the 21.
He had a step for about, he probably had 5-yard separation. And just not a good pass from Cantwell. Overthrew him. I mean, he had 5-yard separation. Cantwell overthrew him by a good 5-6 yards.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to that Cantwell and his receivers haven't been able to really connect on the deep passes. So I'm really wondering why the Badgers have strayed away from those, those short passes, whether it's New Mexico's defense that's really starting to step up, or if the Badgers have strayed away from what they're doing well at.
And this is a big 3rd down right here.
And the play clock runs out, so it looks like the Badgers are now going to have a 3rd down and 15.
And I think they might have actually called a timeout.
Oh.
Yep. Oh, and actually New Mexico is who called the timeout, but they're going to give them a timeout, which might have just saved Snow 5 yards.
We'll take a timeout as well here on Snow TV. Welcome back to Badger Stadium. The Badgers 14, the Broncos 17. 8:56 left in the first half. 3rd down and 9 on the 21. Chase, what are the Badgers going to do here? They've got them spread out.
Well, it looks like they're definitely going for the first down. No one in the backfield. They're not playing it safe, and this is a big 3rd down.
So Cantwell's going to keep it himself, and he's going to pick up the yards and then some. Gets all the way up to about the 42-yard line, and the Badgers able to do it. And I want to know and I want to think this, but in all reality, that may have been designed as spreading them out and running the coverage all the way, the offensive line breaking him inside and letting Cantwell get the edge.
Definitely an athletic run there by Cantwell, and you see he breaks to the outside. The defender, who maybe would have had a chance to get him, had his back turn defending a receiver. That allows him to skip right upfield untouched and a pickup of about 17 and a big play there.
So Cantwell does hand it off. That's Labrador. Labrador sneaks through for a couple of yards and the ball pops out, but it looks like the whistle was blown and the line judge marked him down about a gain of 2 yards. So now it's going to be 2nd down and 8 from the 41.
Looked like Troy Quinn was there on the stop, and another big body that haven't really called his name much tonight. However, the Bronco defense really likes him, and again, he's going to be very important down the stretch of these games, stopping the run, and a good job there.
So Cantwell calling the play from the line, trying to direct his team. Free and open, beautiful catch there. That's Fackrell. Picks up another 5 yards, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 2, so 3rd down and short at the 48. So that's what you kind of want to see from the Badgers. They're kind of going back to what gave them success in the first quarter. There's 7 minutes, 30 seconds left in the first half.
Exactly. They're fine taking that underneath route, and you look, it's just a quick out. It's a 5 and out that they're running there, and they're content getting themselves down into a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3 situation. So nice play and nice read there from Cantwell.
Run, finding some space there. Beautiful job there and picking up the first down. So the Badgers are now marching the ball.
And it looked like Cantwell, when he met Catrell Kufi there, the safety for the Broncos, he took him with him for a couple of yards. A powerful run from Cantwell.
You have to give this offensive line of the Badgers some credit as they are working hard down there in the trenches, as they're really having great success on the run game and giving Cantwell plenty of time. I think he's maybe been knocked down once, but really hasn't been pressured.
Do you think they learned from that 4th and 2 not running it and 3rd and 2, and they ran it right up the middle and for another first down?
And there it is, Labrador unable to hold on, and I want to know, that could possibly be the reason being that is he's a freshman, so twice now the balls came out. The other time he was down before it came out, and this time it comes out, and so that stutters a drive of the Badgers.
And that's a huge turnover by the Badgers. You just gave up. You were up 14-7. You've given up 10 straight points. Your offense had been stopped a couple of times. You're finally on a nice drive, picking up a lot of first downs, converting on 3rd down. And even after a nice run, it was a run that was going for about 8 or 9 yards to set up 2nd and very short. And to cough it up there and get this Bronco offense back out on the field, it's a momentum killer, and the Broncos should be feeling very confident at this point with 6.5 minutes left that they can drive down and get another score and increase this lead before halftime.
And at the start of the second half, the Broncos will get the ball, so that helps their cause. Right there, good run. He's not down, or the whistle hasn't been blown. That was number 47. He put his head down and picked up about 1.5 yards. That's Jalen Horn, and he was met at the line of the scrimmage. So Kramer definitely has a lot of time, steps up in the pocket, finds a wide open number 2, Ray Padilla, able to get out to about the 49-yard line, and now they got the chains moving.
And that's Tui Tafa there with the stop. And again, zone coverage, a great job to just find your spot right in the middle of that. And again, this Bronco offense is just moving and moving and moving, and Snow right now doesn't have an answer.
It's interesting to see how there's different situations in the fact that the Badgers were able to put a lot of pressure on Kramer, but now they haven't seen much, and he's been stepping up in the pocket with time. Little wide receiver screen intended for number 32, Troy Gatling. Incomplete. He was wide open and went right through his hands.
It did go right through his hand, and that's a good play under pressure there from Kramer, who actually took a pretty big hit at the end of that as well. And there's nothing more frustrating as a quarterback than taking a big hit while still delivering a strike and having your wide receiver just drop it.
No, yeah, and it's interesting because they had the field open with blockers downfield. All the Badgers were fooled on that one as the D-line was all across. So Kramer steps up and gets sacked. Beautiful play there. That's number 92 for the Badgers, it looks like, Santuala.
And that's a big, big play from Satuala. Stepping up, he had a guy open downfield to bring him down and force a third, and it looks like it'll be about 14. This is a huge, huge down for this Badger defense.
I wonder if Santuala, if there's any connections between last year's tight end, Tui Santuala. I'll definitely have to look up that. I'm not 100% sure, and then we can get back to you on that. So Kramer steps up the middle, nearly gets tackled and misses it, and gets out of bounds. And Cantwell picks up the first down. So it's going to be first down and 10 from the 40-yard line.
Looked like he was chased out there by Justice Brown, but again, another smart play from Kramer. But, apart from those first two series where they went 3 and out, he has looked incredible. He's been smart. He's thrown some strikes. He's taken the rush yards when they're there, but he's not taking the hits. He's getting out of bounds. He's sliding down. And this guy, he knows how to play, and he's done a masterful job here against a pretty good Snow College defense.
So right there, the run up the middle was number 24, Caleb Estrada, who was able to catch the touchdown pass on the other end and tie the game 14-14, and was met by a host of Badgers. So 4 minutes left in the first half, 14-7, second down and 7, and the ball's on the 37. Cantwell throwing it deep. Someone's got to turn around. Looks like it's incomplete. Sorry, not Cantwell. Kramer overthrows his receiver as he was open, Sinclair Laskett.
And there's Prater with the coverage again, and it looked like, Laskett had a step, but that one's got to be on Kramer. He threw the ball out of bounds, didn't even give his receiver a chance to go up and get it. Apart from that, he's had a pretty near perfect game, but maybe missed an opportunity there and now set up with a 3rd and long.
So 3rd down and 7 on the 37-yard line, and Kramer and the Broncos elect to pass. That pass is over the shoulder. Pretty nice thrown ball, but it just looks like Ben Bergeson was on the coverage there, but Padilla was unable to get his head around and really make a catch, because I felt like that was the only place to place the ball, and it was just a little early.
It was a fairly good pass. That's a tough. He's looking over as he's coming down his left shoulder, and from where Kramer put it, he had to switch and look over his right. And that's hard to do, is kind of adjust and relocate the ball like that. Decent throw, tough catch, would have been pretty spectacular, but looks like they're going for it on 4th and long.
4th and long, and Kramer finds some time, finds a receiver. Oh, great defense there. Parker Prater puts his hand and finds himself a cookie in the cookie jar. Turnover on downs. The Badger defense steps up.
That's a big stop. And interesting, it looked like they were running 2 seam routes there. And I'm not really quite sure if that was just miscommunication, if the play had broken down a bit, and so they were both trying to streak. But it looked like Padilla as well as Young both were streaking down, and really it looked like the ball was thrown to Padilla, but Prater, who was covering Young, was able to come over and knock that away because they were so close to one another. So really just kind of a big mess there.
Right, it was, and it would be interesting if that ball probably could have been caught, but Prater was there because of those close routes. You got to spread things out a little bit more for New Mexico Military.
And a big stop there after giving up the ball on the fumble. Snow's taken over in pretty good field position as well.
Steven Shepard running up the gut for 9 yards, just hustling and putting his head down right between the gut. And the tackle on the play was number 23, Gary Theoblex.
2nd down, 2 to go.
And a nice run up the middle there, and that's going to get things going. Again, 2nd and 3. This is where Snow wants to be all year long. They've just kind of taken a few yards at a time, and it looks like Campbell's going to get stuffed up the middle and probably lose one, it looks like.
Yeah, it's interesting play call on 2nd down. It looks like they went back to kind of that option read, but 2 minutes 58 seconds left in the first half. 3rd down and 3 on the ball on the 44, and of course the Broncos still lead at 17-14. And so the Badgers look like the offense has kind of been a lot of ups and downs, and they haven't really been able to find their rhythm after that first quarter.
Yeah, it's true. And after starting the game with a couple of great drives and some big plays, they've kind of been stagnant, being stopped on 4th down, giving up a fumble. And again, they're going to be stopped well short. A beautifully read play there.
Great defense by DeJohn Murray as he was able to lead in. And in all reality, Moores wasn't able to make a move to get out. But it's kind of interesting. I give props to New Mexico Military coming in here against a team that hasn't lost, an unbeaten Badger team, and they get down 7-0, and then they find a way to really produce. New Mexico Military gets on top, ties it up 14-14, and then they come down and get the field goal. And it looks like they're going to be able to finish this half with the lead and then get the ball coming out in the second half.
No, it's true, and really just an outstanding job of adjusting to what Snow was doing. And I think it's been as much the Snow blunders as it's been the New Mexico defense, but you have to give credit where credit's due. They've adjusted. We talked about it coming in. They weren't known for their defense, but after giving up 14 points early, they've completely shut Snow down and given their offense a chance to put some points on the board.
Yeah, and now, in all reality, the way I've been looking at it is Snow College has started to get things going, and then they make a mistake. For example, Labrador had the fumble. Then you have other mistakes of not converting on 4th down, and in all reality, just not playing a sound game.
And now we'll see how New Mexico's 2-minute offense is. Ooh, and a big hit there.
That was a great hit by number 7, Ben Bergeson, flying in and making sure there was no yards after the catch. So 1 minute, 30 seconds left in the first half, and the Broncos are starting to march. 2nd down and 5 from the 31. Kramer with pressure, able to get away, and now he's just going to throw it out of bounds. Smart there, and the pressure was by Tafua. He's able to get there and cause Kramer to throw the ball away.
And again, occasionally tonight Snow has been able to get pressure, and it's when they've been able to get pressure and force Kramer out of the pocket that they've forced these incompletions. We've seen 4 of them tonight already, and that's really going to be the key there. And again, a big 3rd down and 5. If Snow can get a stop, they're going to get the ball back with 3 timeouts, a minute left, and maybe a chance to, if good field position to potentially tie this up or take the lead.
Can't go anywhere, and he gets sacked. Beautiful job there by the Badgers as they were able to finally get the pressure, and I believe that was by Tua Santuala. And it's interesting because Kramer's been able to get outside so much, and it seems like the Badgers, Coach Mon was able to tell his defensive guys, you've got to get out and you've got to contain, and that's what happened on that play. Kramer couldn't step out, he had to step up, and then the pressure came from the middle, and then the pressure came from behind and just collapsed on him.
Absolutely, and that's a huge stop for this Snow defense. And we see Snow's going to take a timeout. They're going to get the ball back with about a minute left, 2 timeouts. And again, Coach Mon feels confident enough in this offense that they can come down and, hopefully, if nothing else, get a chance to tie this game up at 17-17 going into halftime, despite the fact that they have not played great football.
Right, and the second half, or the second quarter, Snow College hasn't really done much, and they're still in the game. So that's saying something, that you're able to put up 14 points, kind of hang around there, but this is not a situation you want to be in. You want to get up and you want to get going and you want to get out of the situation where a New Mexico Military team that's coming in wanting to beat you out, they can go ahead and change things.
Well, you're playing at home. you just barely jump from number 4 to number 2 in the NJCAA. And the last thing you want to do is fall in a game like this to the team that's chasing you in second place. And so, I'm assuming there's going to be plenty of things to discuss in the locker room at halftime and some adjustments to be made. But, I think Coach Munn right now is focused on possibly getting some points here before halftime.
Deep punt there by Prater, and he's able to find some space. He breaks one more tackle, and he'll be gone. He does. He's at the 5. Touchdown, Parker Prater.
And that's exactly why we talked about even on the kickoff slide, New Mexico has been going away from him. So why in the world are you punting him the ball with a minute left in the first half? Big mistake there, and the coverage was not good. And then you have just a special talent there with Parker Prater. Makes 2 or 3 guys miss, and then it's just, tapping his way down the sideline in for 6.
And how do you feel if you're the Broncos on this end? They've been working their tails off this whole first half to have a lead, and now the Badgers come in and take it away from them.
You got to be frustrated. You had all the momentum. You went up 17-14 after going down 7 early, and with a minute left to give up a big play like that, it's unacceptable. It's a momentum killer, and they really, I can't believe they kicked to him, is all I can say. I can't believe that they actually gave him the chance to make that play, and hats off to Prater. What a play.
A great play. 51 seconds left in the first half, and the Badgers now lead 21-17. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back in a minute. Welcome back to Badger Stadium. The Badgers now lead 21-17. 51 seconds left in the half as number 26 of the Badgers, Tyler Dundley, is set to kick it off. Deep end-over-end kick, and that goes out of the back of the end zone. That's what you like to see, and that's what you want on every kickoff.
And it seems like that's a luxury that Snow has that New Mexico doesn't. If they were that confident in their kicker's leg, kicking it out of the back of the end zone every time, it could definitely save them some field position, and a lot of people don't talk about that. Kickers make field goals, but they don't talk a lot about the ability and the strong leg to really kick it out of the back of the end zone to prevent big returns, to prevent good field position, and it's a luxury that Snow has.
So late flag comes in. It looks like it was a block in the back, personal foul, and so now the Broncos are in their own territory pretty deep. Looks like they're sitting about the 13-yard line, if I'm not mistaken. And it's first down with 51 seconds left. So if you're the Broncos here, what do? Do you run the ball and get out of the first half, or do you try something?
Well, the clock will stop after a first down while they move the chains. You have 2 timeouts at 51 seconds. I don't have an issue if they go for it. I also don't have an issue if they just get out of the half.
They kind of do a little bit of both there as they decide to run the ball with number 20, Caleb Estrada. We've seen a lot of Estrada, and so Estrada was able to pick up the first down, stop the clock, and now it's running again. The chains are set, and it doesn't look like the Broncos are in any kind of hurry with 32 seconds left. Another handoff up the middle, going nowhere. Great defense there. He just read it well. It looks like that was number 50 for the Badgers. Cardone Malin.
Yeah, and it looks like New Mexico is just content taking this into halftime. And they really should be okay with that. They're definitely a heavy underdog in this game. And to come out and play the way they did in the first half, it's just remarkable. They've given themselves a chance to go into the second half and really potentially win this game. They're going to be kicking themselves for giving up that punt return. But overall, I think if you're the Broncos, you're pretty happy with the way you've looked so
exactly.
far.
You don't put your head down because you're going to get the ball in the second half, like you mentioned, right at the start. You can come out and drive and continue that presence. The only small thing I'm concerned is with a punt return like that, I feel like the momentum has now switched back into the favor of Snow College. We all know football is a momentum game, and New Mexico Military got that momentum as soon as the fourth down happened, and they were able to stop Snow College. And now it's kind of switched back into their favor.
Exactly, and I think if you're Joe Fortner, the head coach of the Broncos, you go in and you say just that. You say, look, guys, we have played outstanding football. We have stopped Snow College offense. Our defense has looked good. Our offense has been able to move the ball. If it weren't for a couple of boneheaded plays, we're up in this game at halftime. And so I think if he's in there, he's very happy. I think he gives his team a nice motivational speech, and they come out ready to play and fired up here in the second half.
So that's the end of the first half. The Badgers lead at 21-17. We'll be back after a good long break. Hopefully you guys enjoy any halftime show that they may show. Welcome back. Snow TV, Jeff Brinton joined along by Chase Metcalf. And it looks like both teams were a little confused on which side of the field to take as the referees are pointing them where they should go.
A little confusion there to start the second half.
So, Chase, just real quick, one key for Snow College in this second half to pick up the W, and then I want to hear one point that New Mexico needs to do the same thing. And what does each team need to do? Because it's a pretty close game, 21-17 right now. Well, what are you thinking?
I think for Snow College, the key is just to finish drives. They've had the opportunity where they've been moving the ball. They were stopped once on fourth down. They fumbled the ball once as well. And so the offense is moving it. They're just creating a couple of plays where they're just not finishing drives. And I think if they can do that, they could honestly open this game open and walk away with a double-digit victory. For New Mexico, it's kind of the opposite. It's making sure that they continue to play sound defense. Their offense, as we've seen, is going to move the ball, is going to put points on the board. The question is, can their defense continue to play well, maybe force another turnover, get some stops on third down that's going to give their offense the chance that they need to put more points on the board and end up winning the game. So that's what I'm looking forward to in the second half. It's kind of going to be the Snow offense against that Bronco defense.
So Kramer takes the field with his offense in the gun. They first hand off, and that's up the middle for about a yard. Number 21, Daryl Wiggins. So on that kickoff, something interesting that I saw, I'm not sure if I could tell 100%, but Tyler Dudley, it looked like he kicked it through the uprights.
You know, they ought to make that worth 3 points. If you can kick it that far with that much accuracy, I don't know why that's not worth 3 points.
They should give him the points. Another handoff up the middle, but met by a host of Badgers. Number 94 there on the cause, handsome Tanielu,
I think.
Tanielu. So on first and second, the Broncos come out playing smart. 2 runs right up the middle. Third down and 5 on the 29. 14 minutes, 6 seconds left.
And again, there's a big play here.
Screenplay caught, and maybe some more yards. There's number 2 for the Broncos, Ray Padilla. And Padilla was able to pick up about 15 and move the chains there.
And that's a big third down. After going into the locker room, giving up a big play to go down at halftime, the last thing you want is for your offense to come out, go 3 and out, and give the ball right back to Snow in good field position. That is a big third down. Well done by Kramer.
Kramer gives up the middle once again, finding a crease in the offensive line and able to pick up about 6 yards. Number 20, Estrada.
And you see that the Broncos are opening up the game pretty conservatively. 3 runs and kind of just an underneath crossing pass route. And taking a shot.
Second down and short. It was incomplete. And it was incomplete for number 3, Sinclair Laskett. And it looks like Kramer's trying to put that ball on that opposite shoulder. So what his receivers are having to do is make an opposite turn on it. And so that's kind of difficult. Where would you want to see that ball placed?
It's first of all, the ball was underthrown. It was thrown out of bounds. I mean, just everything on that throw. Nothing was working there. He's thrown some dimes. He's thrown some really good passes.
Kramer keeps it and breaks the tackle and switches fields. And it looks like he'll pick up the first down and step out of bounds at about the 46-yard line.
And it looked like he was about to get wrapped up there in the backfield. The defender had both hands and was dragging him down, and just, again, shows you the athleticism, the strength of Kramer to break free, switch fields, and run for the first down. He picked up about 12 on that run, and wow, that was impressive.
When you tackle someone, you want to tackle low and get rid of their legs because Kramer's got quick feet. That tackle was very high, and then you're unable to finish it. Kramer, little swing route out to number 87, able to pick up about 5 yards off a stiff arm and steps out of bounds. That's Edward K., and the tackle was made by Jance Arbon.
And again, it seems like they're playing pretty conservative. Run, and then, just short underneath route, picking up 4 or 5 yards every play. Again, they're content to do that. They've had success all year long sustaining long drives, and they've had success here tonight doing so as well. And so they're okay picking up 4 or 5 yards, on first down, getting second and short, third and short, and picking up those third downs.
Another swing route, able to pick up more yards and keeps his feet, gets all the way down to about the 23-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds. That was number 20, keeping his footing the whole time. Estrada, and the tackle was made by Jance Arbon again, playing both sides of the field. Arbon's all over the place right now. So really productive right now for New Mexico Military, able to pick up yards.
And this is what they wanted to open up this half. A nice drive that established themselves. And again, we talked about their offense is good. They're going to score points as Kramer throws it away. And so to come out and kind of just run it right at the Snow defense, get down into Snow territory, they're looking for a chance to take momentum back as the second half starts.
Yeah, so 11 minutes, 41 seconds in the third quarter. Second down and 10 on the 26. New Mexico Military is knocking on the door as they trail by 4 points. And Kramer and his offense have been started. They started this drive about the 20-yard line, if I'm not mistaken, so really starting to move the ball here. Yes! Across the middle, wide open, picked off! Who else? Number 8 for the Badgers, Justice Brown, and he takes it all the way back to the 50-yard line, and just what the Badgers want after a long drive by the Broncos.
And that is a huge, huge play from this Badger defense. An ill-advised passer by Kramer, threw it into coverage, threw a little bit behind him, and Justice Brown just made an absolute brilliant read, picks it off and returns it. And just like that, when it seemed like things were finally starting to go, as we open the second half, the Bronco way, a huge, huge play by this Snow Badger defense, and they're going to get the ball with their offense, again, in great field position, up by 4 points.
Yeah, and Chase, I feel like that's the first mistake that Kramer's made all day.
It's true. He's thrown a couple balls a little short, but that was really the first ill-advised pass that he's really thrown. And it looks like Snow's going to try and exploit that right off the bat.
Cantwell getting pushed, and he catches it! Cantwell's pass all the way to number 88. Touchdown, DeAndre Vines, and the Badgers strike quick.
And what a call there from Coach Mon. They just got the turnover. Momentum's back in their favor. They go straight for the throat of that Bronco defense. And wow, what a read, what a throw. Cantwell puts it right on the money. And again, just an absolutely beautiful throw and catch. And Vines again had a couple steps on it, makes a great adjustment to catch the ball at its highest point at about the 1 yard line and walks right into the end zone.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was Vines. I just looked down quick, but I might have mistaken that. It could have easily also been Darius Myers. I think it was Myers on that, so we'll probably give credit to Myers for the touchdown.
Well, whoever it was one heck of an adjustment to catch the ball. And again, a beautiful throw from Cantwell. And you were talking to the offensive coordinator before the game, and that's really what they wanted to see from their quarterback today.
Yeah, Coach Zach Connors. We had a quick conversation as he was about to step into the locker room, and he was just discussing that the short stuff has been going good for the Badgers all season. He also wanted to see the run game get picked up today so that they could open up that deep pass. And we've seen Cantwell and his receivers try it, but they just haven't been on cue. And right there they were able to get on cue with Myers and with a defender right in his face. It almost looked like a pass interference, but he was able to go up and make an athletic play.
And that's all Cantwell can do is throw it in a spot where it gives his receiver a chance to make the play, and trust your receiver enough that he's going to go up there and snag that ball for you and get you a touchdown, and that's just what we saw. Well done there for Myers.
Dudley set to kick, and you usually expect him to go out of the back of the end zone, and it sure does. Very consistent kicker for the Badgers. So as the teams decide to switch halves and prepare themselves, we'll take a quick break here on Snow TV. We'll be back in just a minute.
Fans, be sure to return.
Welcome back. The Badgers lead at 28-17, 11 minutes, 20 seconds left in the third quarter. First down and 10 at the 25 for the Broncos. And it looks like the Badgers right there. Malin was right there to make the stop.
And this Badger defense is fired up. And you can see as the play develops, they have so much push right now on that defensive line. And that's what a turnover can do. It can fire up your defense. It can change momentum, give them the confidence. They hadn't had a ton of success. They'd made some good plays, but not having a ton of success, a turnover can completely change that, fire them up, and on that play it showed.
And now the Badgers can breathe a little bit as their lead is extended to 11. Handoff off the side. He finds the edge in a crease, and he's out to the 50-yard line. Able to break a few more tackles before he's pushed out of bounds, and then a flag comes in late. Interesting, maybe he was out of bounds. The play was made by Justice Brown, and the run by the Bronco number 21, Wiggins. So another 15 yards. Oh yeah, face mask. 15-yard penalty, so that's not good for the Badgers, as the ball will now be at the 35-yard line.
And just as I was praising this Badger defense, what do? Give up a big run and then tack 15 more on that with the face mask penalty. So big penalty, big run from this Bronco offense, and this is just what the doctor ordered if you're New Mexico military. They need to score here.
Handoff up the middle, and they've been continuing to go to Estrada, and Estrada picks up about a yard. So 10 minutes, 13 seconds on the clock. Second down and 9. And it looks like New Mexico's kind of found their groove. Besides the interception on the last series, they were driving the ball well.
They were moving the ball very well, and then just a bad throw, one bad decision.
Out in the flat. Great play there by the Badgers. Number 3 caught that from Cantwell Sinclair Laskin, and the tackle was made by, looks like, number 21, Ivan King. Good read there by Ivan King to just get out, read the quarterback's eyes, and make a play.
And again, it almost looked like the running back had some space there, but King, very athletic, very quick, closes the gap and limits the gain to about a yard and a half.
So third down and 8 for the Broncos. Little screen, wide receiver screen, and the Badgers sniff it out. Not going for him, as Jance Arbon was there on the play, along with number 10. It looked like Savarius Young and, Curtis Tafua.
And it looks like they're lined up to go for this. And, I don't mind this call. 9 minutes left in the third quarter. You're down 11. You've given up a couple of big plays to end the half and then to start the half. Why not?
Right, and you're in the territory where that's a really long field goal, about 50 yards. So you'd much rather go for it and see what you can do. Little turn route is wide open. Yeah, you might as well go for it because that's a touchdown for the Broncos, number 88, Dante Callaway.
And that's probably the first mistake we've really seen from Justice Brown, who had the interception on the last drive. Gave him a little bit of space, and I understand if he's going to catch that ball, pick up the first down, you still got to wrap up and make the play so you don't give up the touchdown there. And just a poor job of tackling, and really a huge play from this Bronco offense, who after falling behind 11 answer in a big way.
Yeah, and when you're on an island by yourself out there, like the defender was, you've got to make sure you tackle. If you give up the catch, so what? Make sure you make the tackle, like you mentioned, because now the Broncos are right back in it.
And just like that, it's a 4-point game, and momentum seems to kind of shift back and forth, and neither team can really capture it and just continue to run with it. And so again, big play there from the Bronco offense, and on 4th down and 8, he finds him for about a 25-yard touchdown, or excuse me, a 35-yard. And again, a big play to get them right back in the game.
So 28-24 is your score. The Snow College Badgers lead it with 8 minutes and 39 seconds in the half. We'll be back. Welcome back to Snow Badger Stadium. Sets a kick. 99, Nicholas Lighten, and the ball falls off the tee. I guess it is getting a little windy here in Ephraim.
Jonah Trineman back deep to receive. Again, they have not kicked to him yet. They're content kicking it short, even if it means giving the Badgers great field position. We'll see what they do here.
And Prater moved up, which is interesting why they didn't let Prater field that one. Number 54 for the Badgers stepped up to field it. Elliman Collins. And so the Badgers will take over at the 27-yard line.
And now it'll be interesting to see how Snow responds. They had the big, deep touchdown pass last time they were on. Seemed like everything had shifted in their way and their momentum. And then after giving up a 4th down touchdown, again, it's very important for this offense to sustain something positive in order to gain momentum back.
So Cantwell spreads out the offense, 5-receiver set, handoff, and loss of yards there. Not a huge run there for Labrador, and Labrador, he's more of a running back that's in between the tackles. He can get outside, but that edge was cut off quickly by Robert Framer of the Broncos.
And Farmer's a big guy. And so, showing some speed and agility there to get out there to the edge and bring him down. And, loss of about 3, it looks like, bringing up 2nd and 13.
28-24, 8 minutes and 4 seconds left. Cantwell with the screen, nearly picked off and able to pick up a couple yards. Frackrell still on his feet. He's a big target, and wow, was that nearly picked off.
Yeah, it was close, but it just, again, great hands there by Fackrell to just grab that out of the air before any defenders had a chance to make a play on it, and then get some positive yardage out of it as well. And looks like he was met there by Corey Williams. We've called his name a couple times. He's the tackle and the sack leader of this team, and bringing up stopping him for a minimal gain that's going to bring up a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, but you'd much rather see a 3rd down and 7 than a 3rd down and they were at 12 right there. So little kind of screen play, was able to pick up a few yards. I'd like to see the Badgers go back to running the ball a little bit better on 1st and 2nd down with Stephen Shepard. So Cantwell, the screen with the follow, he's got a lot of space and picks up the 1st down.
What another gutsy run from Cantwell. 3rd and about 7. What do they call? They call the little quarterback draw up the middle. Cantwell sees an opening, makes a beautiful cut to the left, and enough to get the 1st down. He puts his head down and runs over. Looks like we got an injured Bronco down there on the field as well.
Looks like DeJohn Murray, if I'm not mistaken. He's the sophomore linebacker, 6'1", 220 out of Detroit, Michigan. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and hopefully we can get a report on him and see how he does. We'll be back in a minute. So DeJohn Murray was able to get up with a little bit of help, but then runs off the field by himself. He'll head to the sideline. It looks like he took his helmet off and he'll take a sit, but considering everything that happened there, it looks like he got kind of hit in the head kind of awkwardly.
Yeah, it does, and I'm sure they'll run him through a little concussion protocol, but you hope he's okay. He's an outstanding player, and the Bronco defense really relies on his playmaking ability, and so you never want to see an injury, especially to a player like DeJohn Murray.
Fackrell there on the pickup for 5 yards. Nice little out route by the Badgers, and those kind of things just help your team start to move.
You know, it's true, and again, we talked about this before, getting down in second and manageable, third and short. That's going to allow you to really have the whole playbook available to you and what you want to design and kind of be able to continue to pick up first downs the way this Badgers team's been able to.
Cantwell straight draw. The O-line gave him a lot of space to do so up the middle for about 8 yards. He's at the 40-yard line. He was met by Champion right in the middle.
And the quarterback draw has been where this drive has been absolutely wide open for Cantwell, and he's taken advantage. He's done it twice already. He's gained about 24 yards combined, and he's deceptively quick is the way I would put it, and a nice job by him.
So looks like Cantwell and also Labrador in the backfield, and Labrador can't seem to collect it, and he felt the pressure coming. He kept his eyes downfield. He couldn't even catch it. You know, that's the thing you got to do, catch and then run.
And that was dangerously close to being a backward pass. The running back just kind of coming out of the backfield, and it looks like he did throw that forward just enough, but dangerously close to be considering a lateral, which would have been a fumble, and the Bronco defense was all over that.
All right, so the Badgers really got to be careful with really controlling the ball and not turning the ball over, because that would be a true heartbreaker for them, but that's what New Mexico's looking for right now, is if they can get another turnover. A lot of time for Cantwell right across the middle. It was intended for number 88 of the Badgers, Vines, and on the coverage was Theo Hippolyte?
And it looked like Hippolyte had a step, and to be honest, Cantwell's lucky that ball was not intercepted. Not a good throw into double coverage, and very fortunate that bounced off Hippolyte's hands and fell incomplete.
Yeah, now it's third down. So, Chase, what do you see the Badgers doing? Do you see them picking up maybe half the yardage, going for it on fourth down, or are they going to pick up all the yardage here?
You know, I think they're going to throw, and I think they're going for the first down. As we see, oh, what a catch!
That was Crail on the catch. Playing as a big player. I thought he was Dallin Fackrell because it was such a high jump and catch, but that's Crail. Crail was able to make that catch. Great play.
And that was, I mean, again, Cantwell put it where the receiver could go get it. Almost, you know, a dangerous pass, but he threw it high enough, and he knew his receiver was athletic enough to go and just, again, snatch that out of the air, and what a catch.
It was on the far side, so we couldn't see how many feet he got in, but he was able to tiptoe it in on the sideline, reel it in. Both referees agreed, and it's a catch. Handoff up the middle. Oh, putting his head down and running for about 9 to 10 yards. Of course, that's Labrador.
And Labrador's having a pretty, aside from the fumble, he's had himself a pretty nice game so far.
Yeah, besides the fumble that Labrador had on that one drive, I feel like he's had the good play. He was the one who picked up the huge yardage on the first down and got him down to the 5-yard line at the very first series of the game. So in all reality, a freshman coming in and playing that big for you, you got to love that. So 5 minutes, 9 seconds, 28 to 24, second down and 2 on the 22. And it looks like the chain gang was a little thrown off there and was not set correctly. So now they're set, and a little miscommunication there. Okay, boss. Little draw right up the middle, wide open. It looks like he's able to pick up the yardage.
Well, it's going to be real close to that first down. Yeah. This is going to depend on the spot, it looks like. And from our angle, it looks like he might be a touch short.
And they do that. Third down and short. So definitely right in this territory. You're now in field goal range, but you definitely want to go for it. Now, it'll be interesting to see what the Badgers call, if it's just a quick quarterback sneak or quarterback follow or what they do, because the Badgers never go under center. I guess I can't say never, but it's usually never under center. They're always in the shotgun or the pistol look.
I imagine they run the ball here. They've had some success already. It's less than a yard to go, and that's what they'll do.
And they pick up that, and wow, Cantwell just got rocked. And he's able to get up from it. And the Badgers pick up the first down. That's exactly what you want to see on a third down in short. You don't want to mess around with any, diverse, tricky little play.
No, and I agree. It's 3rd and short. You've been able to have some success running the ball so far today. Trust your offensive line to get enough push to where you can pick that up. And it looks like Cantwell actually came out of the game.
Yeah, because he got hit in the head pretty hard.
And so who is that that's coming under center? It looks like they're almost running some sort of wildcat.
Number 24, Riley Richmond. The handoff to Moores. Moores up the gut for about 5. 2nd down and 5. 3:28 left in the 3rd quarter. 28-24 is your score.
And it looks like they're gonna keep that same formation out there. They don't have a quarterback out there right now. It looks like they do just have Richmond back to take the snap, and he's listed it as a receiver, but you see he's calling out the play at the line of scrimmage. So interesting to see Cantwell staying on the sideline there.
A little miscommunication, of course, with Richmond and the running back. That's just the lack of communication with trying to be under center for the first time and not having the opportunity to get a lot of reps. I wouldn't see this formation a lot, and in all reality, they do pull it out. They didn't like what they're seeing as Cantwell steps back in.
And Cantwell comes back in, and now Richmond is listed as the backup quarterback on the depth chart, but he's only thrown 8 passes this year. He's primarily a wide receiver, so they're not incredibly deep at the quarterback position. So it's all that more important that Cantwell gets back in there, and it looks like he's in there now for this 3rd down and long.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that you're running a great offense, and then you put in a backup quarterback that just sometimes doesn't make sense to me. In the corner, wide open and overthrown. Their feet got tangled. No call. That was Fackrell looking for a flag, and the refs won't give it. So now it's going to be 4th down, and looks like Coach Mon will kick the field goal and take the points. If they can get them in, that'll take that 4-point lead to a 7-point lead, which in all reality, that's what you want to see in a tight game like this. You never know what New Mexico military can do.
Absolutely. You take the points here. I'm actually very okay with the no call there on the pass interference. He had his head turned. They got their feet tangled. That's just natural. I'm perfectly okay with them not calling that.
No, and I agree. The field goal's up and good. The Badgers 31, the Broncos 24. With 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back, Snow TV. Jeff Britton joined along by Chase Metcalf. Dudley's kick is up and out of the back of the end zone, of course. He's just...
Would you expect anything else from him?
He's clutch when it comes to kicking. He does what he's supposed to do. And, that makes your job so much easier in the fact that you don't have to worry about teams getting good field position. They start at 25 every time. What else can you worry about?
It's true, and he has a big leg, and that's big for kickoffs. It's big when he's attempting field goals. I can't tell you how big of a difference it makes if you're a coach, knowing that if you send your kicker out there, he's going to get you the 3. You can count on him. He's going to send it out of the back of the end zone. He's a big weapon that Snow really relies on.
Yeah, it's interesting, though. Like, most of the time you'll have a kicker that does all 3 parts, punting, kicking, but it just seems like here at Snow they have a different kicker for everything. It's kind of interesting. Kramer keeps it up the middle, picks up a huge chunk of yardage all the way out to the 45-yard line, 20-yard gain, and tackled by Kiwa Moho.
That's a touchdown-saving tackle there by Mo, but a great job again by Kramer. He has just been shredding this defense with his feet and his arm all game long. And, he sees an opening and he takes off, and if you don't close on that quickly, he's gone in the blink of an eye. He's quick.
1 minute, 40 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Snow College 31, the New Mexico Military Broncos 24. Little end around, finding a gap. and the Badger defense is there. First on the scene was number 36 for the Badgers, Jax Eisinger.
He leads the team in tackles. You'd expect him to be nowhere but around where the ball's at.
So the end around by Sinclair Lanskett was of a pickup of about 4 yards. And we've got Chase up here in the booth dancing around to the music.
Hey, we're right behind the band. They're playing some good music. There's nothing wrong with enjoying yourself while you're up here, Jeff.
Gotta love it. Kramer finding a lot of time. He's gonna air it out, and his legs get tripped up. That's number 2, Padilla, and it looked like it was, couldn't tell, I think it was number 3 or number 2 on the defense of the Badgers. It's hard to make out their number. I can't see it. Maybe number 6 if that's defensive back Winterton. So 3rd down, 6 to go on the 49-yard line. 59 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Kramer on that out. They love that out on 3rd down. He steps up, and that's what you got to do. Number 19 for the Badgers, Jalen Rapp. He wrapped him up, if you know what I mean.
And that's a big play from Callaway, the freshman wide receiver. He caught the ball just short of the 1st down, but he's a big body. He had enough length and enough strength to push forward and get across that 1st down marker to keep the drive alive. So
it was that same play that was ran on 4th down when Callaway got the touchdown.
It's true.
So in all reality, that's a good go-to play for Kramer and the Broncos. Handoff up the gut, and great running there, but able to make a tackle was number 10 for the Badgers, Curtis Tafua. And Strada picks up about 6 yards on the play. 20 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. It's 2nd down and 3 on the 36.
We'll see if the Broncos choose to run a play. It looks like they're lining up. They're going to get one more play off before this quarter ends.
And they do. Handoff end around. That's going to pick up the 1st down and almost more. Almost broke it there. But, of course, number 6, Braxton Winterton, was able there to get there and make a tackle. Really, in all reality, that was a great job by the Badgers. So that'll end the 3rd quarter. The Badgers 31, the Broncos 24. When we come back after the break, the Broncos are going to be on the, looks like they didn't, yeah, so it'll be 1st down from about the 26. We'll be back in a minute. Snow TV, a little end around, and the Badgers are able to catch up to number 32 of the Broncos, Troy Gatling. Almost got the end around to go. That was a good little trick play coming out of the 3rd quarter break.
A little double reverse there. It's going to pick up about 7 or 8 yards, and a lot of people think that when you run a trick play, it has to be a big play to be successful. Not necessarily the case. I think a great call, a double reverse that picks up 7-8 yards, gets you down into 2nd and 2, down inside the red zone. Great play call there by the Bronco offense.
So Kramer sets in the pocket. He has to roll out, and the Badgers are about to get there, and he's able to put a pass right on the money. That's complete to number 3 of the Broncos, Sinclair Lasket, and Ivan King was right there on the tackle to make a play. So that's going to be 1st down and goal for the Broncos. if I'm not mistaken. No, it looks like
They're just outside.
Just
the 10.
outside, so they'll have an opportunity to pick up another first down. First down and 10 from the 13. 14 minutes left in the game, 31-24, and the Broncos are knocking on the door. Little out pass, and complete to his same target, favorite target, number 3, Sinclair Lasket. And on the play there by Parker Prater was able to push him out of bounds.
And it's been a really nice drive that we're watching right now from the Broncos. Kramer has been nearly perfect, both with his legs and with his arm. You know, you're down by a touchdown. You don't panic. You pick up little by little, and you know they're definitely have a chance to tie it up here.
So Laskin in motion, almost sacked, able to make the play. Laskin, he's in and touchdown. So the Broncos knock on the door quick and they get it in.
Pass complete to number 2.
Oh, Ray Padilla. So
and a nice job there by Kramer, who was under pressure, actually got hit as he released the ball, but put it right on the money and out in stride for Padilla, who then used his speed to turn upfield the last 5 yards and kind of waltz into the end zone. So again, an absolutely outstanding answer from this Bronco offense, who haven't really gotten flustered, even though there's been a couple of times where it seemed like the momentum was gone.
Right, now they're about to tie this game up, which is really interesting. This team is able to do so. And 31-31 your score, 13:32 left in the game. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Snow TV. Jeff Britton, Chase Metcalf. The Broncos are able to tie it up at 31 apiece, and the Badgers nearly have a costly penalty, or a drop, but they're able to field it and get it out to the 35-yard line. Parker Prater kind of bobbled that.
It looked like he bobbled it, and then it was picked up by Garrett Garner, it looked like, and a very alert play for him to scoop up the ball down at about the 20-yard line, and he turns it into a big return. And again, for the 5th or 6th time tonight, the Badgers are going to get the ball in pretty good field position.
Right, and you know, we discussed a little bit just after halftime that, you know, you'd like to see the Badgers pull away, or in all reality the Broncos make some plays to stay in it. And the Broncos have been doing better than Snow College in the second half, as they've made the critical plays to stay in the game.
Well, if you remember, the half started, the Broncos were driving, threw an interception, and the next play, the Badgers took a 28-17 lead. And that's when we thought, okay, here we go. Here's the number 2 ranked Badgers in the NJCAA, really about to blow this thing open. But New Mexico's responded.
Right, and they did fully, and they're doing good as Moore picks up about 6 yards on the play. 2nd down and 4 with 13 minutes left in the game. And now Cantwell has to decide what his team can do to pick up the win. Another handoff up the middle, squirts through and keeps churning, takes a whole team of Broncos to take him down, but that's going to be a first down for the Badgers and just start to move the chains. That's what you want to see.
And just, again, it's one of those plays where he kind of looks like he gets stacked up after a gain of only a couple, but keeps just moving those legs, and what strength. And it doesn't help when you got a big offensive line pushing the pile as well.
So Moores was able to pick up the first down, and his helmet came off in the mix of it, so it looks like substituting in for him will be Labrador. Hopefully he can keep his hands on the ball as he fumbled in a critical moment, just coming on the second part of the third quarter. going deep over the top, and receiver quarterback error with Correll and Cantwell overthrew him by about 20 yards.
It looked like there was a miscommunication there. I think that Cantwell thought that he was going to keep running downfield and run a vertical route. However, Croyle, kind of stopped and ran a little, maybe 15 and out, and a little miscommunication there on what route he was running, and that's what ended up causing the the bad throw.
Yeah, so the Badgers now faced with 2nd down and 10 with 12 minutes left in 12 minutes 26 seconds in the game. And so Cantwell's got to pick up a good amount of yards here so we can have 3rd down and short. Little out route and up. Good run there, and pushed out of bounds at about the 49-yard line. Number 34 for the Badgers, that's Philly Tufa, and he's able to pick up enough yardage so it's about 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7.
And a nice job there from Fafetai Lulu to shed the block and be able to come up and make this stop for a short gain of only about 4. And again, another big 3rd down for both teams.
So let's see what Coach Zach Connors has drawn up on this 3rd down. It's a draw right up the middle, and Labrador unable to get any room, and it gets out for about a yard on the 50-yard line. So now it's 4th down, and you'll have to see what Coach Mon decides to do.
That would be another Bronco down on the field.
And we'll take a break with this injury timeout. Welcome back to Badger Stadium. That end-over-end punt rolls down, and it continues to roll all the way down to about the 5-yard line. And the Badgers are now putting the Broncos in tough field position. And a flag comes in late.
And a great punt there by Dominic Panazzolo. That's the 2nd time he has pinned the Broncos inside their own 10-yard line. We'll see what this flag is.
Yeah, Panazzolo has been able to do that successfully, and you love to be that as a defensive team. You love when your special team steps up for you, and then you can go ahead and be in great field position. With 11 minutes left, the Broncos are going to have to drive almost the whole field to score and put a win or take the lead here.
Exactly, and really a punter can change the game for you. If you have a punter who can consistently pin people in their own 20, in their own 10, give them a long field, it just gives your defense even more credit as well, knowing that they have the whole field to work with.
So 1st down and 10 from the 7-yard line. A run up the middle by Kramer. He kept it, but the Badgers are able to read that out, and probably a gain of 1 or probably stays in the same place. So 2nd down and 10 with 11 minutes left in the game.
Dax Eisinger in there again, and there's a reason he leads this team in tackles, and we have called his name time and time again here tonight. He is playing very well, and again, snuffs that out and gets a stop there for a short gain.
So we'll have to see what the Badgers do here on 2nd down to prevent New Mexico from gaining a lot of yards, and they don't do anything as a huge gain there for the Broncos. That's Estrada, who picks up of about 9 yards, and so they get the 1st down.
Hey, if you see the catch, he grabbed that with his fingertips. It was thrown pretty low, a pretty bad pass, and he made quite an adjustment to snag that. Well done by Estrada. He's had quite a game as well.
1st down and 10 on the 18 with 10:25 left. Snow 31, the Broncos 31. Another big run there right up the middle by Estrada, and Probably another first down. Looked like it was about 10 yards on the run there.
And they're just picking apart this Badger defense right now with runs and swings to the outside, and they're letting their speed show. Again, they have a fantastic offense. They have a lot of speed, and they're taking advantage of it right now.
Oh, met in the backfield. Malin meeting everyone and saying, no thank you, no yards for you. A loss of about 4 on the play. The run by number 20, Estrada, and then was met by Atua Gufua?
Ogafa, I think, is how you'd pronounce that. A lot of tough names on this team, but a beautiful play to get into the backfield and just absolutely blows it up to force him into a second down, and looks like about 14.
So second down and long. Kramer throws and overthrows his receiver. It was intended for number 2, Ray Padilla. And so now it's going to be third down and long, so the Badgers have a lot of space.
And Malik Sawyer playing a little DB right now. He's listed at wide receiver on the depth chart, but they got him playing both ways, and he had some pretty good coverage there.
It's good pressure by the defensive line.
And after seeing offense dominate the first part of this second half, it's been the defense who's been stepping up the past couple of drives.
Kramer having all day to throw, and he finally gets pressure, and he rolls out and finds a wide open receiver who catches it for the first down. Wide open. The Badgers left him because he had all day to throw.
And a good job there to buy himself some time. He had all day. Nothing was showing. Nothing was showing. Nothing was open. Finally starts feeling the pressure and continues to buy himself some time by rolling out to the right until he finds a wide open guy for the first down. A big pickup on 3rd and 13.
That's exactly what the Broncos needed to go ahead and keep the chains rolling. And now they're starting to move the ball well. I would watch out if I was the Badgers. That's complete to number 87 for the Broncos, Edward Kia, and Ben Bergeson there on the defensive end.
And if you've noticed, the Broncos have really exploited the outside. They haven't done a whole lot over the middle in terms of receiver routes. A lot of their plays are going to the outside, the short outs, the short hitches along the sideline is where they like to attack, and this drive is evident of that they're taking advantage.
Right up the gut, handoff to number 80, but he's met at the line. That's Hanson Bailey, and he was tackled by
Tuitapa, looks like.
8 minutes, 26 seconds left, 3rd down and 3. Snow College 31, New Mexico Military 31. So, Chase, what do you think? Is this 4th down territory?
At this point, I don't think it is. I think as we're going to have a penalty that's either going to push them back, or it looked like the Badgers actually might have jumped. So they might not even have to run this 3rd down play. It might just be a first down. We'll see what they give it to.
Well, it looked like the center snapped it, but that's what I don't understand. It might have been a snapping infraction, but looks like they do call it on Snow College.
And I think that they jumped just right before it got snapped, and that actually might have been the reason why the center snapped it. You're taught that if you're touched or you see the defender jump offside, you snap that ball and you get the free play. And I think that a heads-up play by the center, but again, just a bad mistake there on a 3rd down by this Badger defense.
Little out pass there, and Parker Prater's there to make a tackle right at the line of scrimmage, and is helped by a few of his defensive buddies. And no gain there for the Broncos.
This time continues to click away. We're down at about 7.5 minutes, and again, the Broncos are totally content just winding this clock down, taking as much time as they can off the clock to see if they can't possibly score and give the Badgers as little time to answer as possible.
Kramer finding some time in the pocket, and he rolls out, telling his receivers to go deep, and has to throw it out of bounds. So the Badgers doing good there. That's a good coverage sack for the Badgers.
And again, it's Tuitapa who's in the backfield applying pressure. He was the NJCAA Defensive Player of the Week last week in their win. And again, showing why as he's in the backfield applying pressure there to Connor Kramer.
So it looks like Kramer and the Broncos have slowed it down right here on 3rd down to try to discuss what they're going to do to pick up the 1st down. So Kramer has time. He steps up in the pocket and throws it across the middle. Caught at the 5. Almost gets into the end zone. He's marked down at the 2-yard line. That was number 19, Cedius Young.
And Cedarius Young has had himself an incredibly well-balanced game. He sees that his quarterback's under pressure. The quarterback, Kramer, does an absolutely outstanding job in moving up in the pocket, buying himself some time, and then Young does everything he can to get open, give his quarterback a target, and another big conversion there on 3rd down.
Yeah, it looks like New Mexico Military is going to score here and take the lead by 7 with 6 minutes, 47 seconds left. 1st down and 1. Gets it in, touchdown. Little quarterback keeper there. And the Badgers now trail by 6.
And we talked about this as the second half started. How was this Badger defense going to be able to slow down and hang with this New Mexico offense? And that's 3 straight drives with 3 straight touchdowns now after the Badgers went up 28-17. And so momentum has certainly shifted here in the 4th quarter especially.
So the kick's no good. Flying across the line was Ben Bergeson, and he was able to get in front of that kick, and that's huge.
That is big, and that allows you, if you're Snow, you have 6 minutes and 41 seconds. You have all the time in the world to put you together your own drive, and now a touchdown, an extra point wins it for you.
That's just a crazy turn of events, and I can't totally credit it to Ben Bergeson on the block because that snap was low, and it had to be placed, and there wasn't enough time to get a foot on the bottom of it and get it up and in. So in all reality, Ben Bergeson was able to get across and jump and get it.
We've talked about special teams all game, how Snow has an incredibly, they have a great punt returner, they have a great kickoff guy, a great field goal kicker, and we're seeing that the Broncos have the opposite of that. They've consistently had to kick short. They've mixed an extra point now. And these things will come back to hurt you in a game like this.
Right, and that's like why you want to play so consistent on every single phase of the game, whether it's special teams, offense, and defense. And I think that's huge what it's been. Snow's special teams have been spot on all day. So short kick, and Parker Prater's going to field it. He's going to try to find a little wedge. He breaks a tackle or 2. He gets out to the 40-yard line, and he's taken the whole team with him. Gets out to the 45-yard line. Great field position with 6 minutes, 32 seconds left for the Badgers to drive, score, and win the game.
And an absolutely brilliant play there by Alema Collins. The ball was kicked short and kind of near him. He realized that Prater was right behind him. He let the ball bounce, and he even pointed out, hey, this one's yours. I'm not taking this one. And then just went upfield and found himself a guy to block to spring that open. So you got to credit Collins there for making that play possible.
Huge field position for the Badgers as the offensive line takes the field along with Cantwell. Play action, and Cantwell's going to find some time, and he's going to throw it deep. There was holding on the play, and no call on the other end, so it looks like what's going to happen is it's going to be 2nd down and 20.
And it looked like it might have been Garrett Bowles that, we could see that right from our angle. He kind of turned their defender and almost brought him to the ground, kind of tackled him to make sure that he couldn't get to Cantwell. Very obvious holding penalty there. Actually, it's going to be on Wattups.
So Wattups get calls for that, and that's really going to be costly for the Badgers, as now it'll be 2nd down and 20, which that's a big difference, and you lose a lot of field position 1st down and 20, and so it's tough.
Yeah, and you're already down by a score, and you can't have penalties like that. They can honestly just kill a drive, and that's going to put even more pressure now on Cantwell to find a way to pick up these yards.
Getting upfield, trying to make some space is Moores. Moores picks up about 2 yards on first down. Interesting enough is the Badgers, it seems like, have, when it's been critical, they've made a few mistakes, kind of like you mentioned, Chase. If we weren't mistaken, on third down and a really short, the Badger defense jumped off, and that's what helped the drive for the Broncos to score on the last drive.
It's the little things in a game like this that make the difference. These teams are very evenly matched, as we've seen so far today. And the truth is, the difference right now is the Badgers have just not been mentally tough enough and have made just a lot of mistakes that have kind of cost them up until this point.
Oh, great catch there by Moores. He's going to have some space, but he had a lot of linemen out in front of him, but no one picked up and blocked. And the Broncos were able to run the play down. And so it was a gain of about 5 or 6 yards. So now it's third down and about 12 yards with 5 minutes and 28 seconds to go.
And it looked like Moores actually kind of outran his blockers there. He got the pass, and what a catch it was, you know,
Right.
kind of juggling that with one hand. But it looked like he kind of ran and didn't let his blockers quite get out in front of him with enough time to pick up the defenders, and that's on him. That's on Moores.
Huge down, third down and 12 to go. The Badgers have got to pick it up. Cantwell feels the pressure. He steps out and he's got space. He's going to run. He picks up the first down and then some. All the way out to the 39-yard line. The Badgers pick up the first down when it's needed. Cantwell steps up.
And a gutsy run there. And Xavier Garcia was actually in position to make the plays and chase him down and maybe tackle him with 4 yards short of the first down. A just very gutsy run there by Cantwell. Again, showing his strength, showing his deceptive speed that we've talked about, and a huge first down, taking it inside that Bronco 40.
Huge play. 4 minutes, 40 seconds left. Badgers trail by 6. First down and 10 on the 39-yard line. Handoff to Labrador right up the gut. He breaks the tackle and holds on for about 4 yards.
Josh Labrador on the carry. Gain of about 4 on the play.
Number 43, Snow College, must sit out one play.
Put your helmet on right.
And it looked like Labrador, he actually lost his helmet there, so he'll come out for this one. And Labrador, we've talked about him all game long. He's getting a lot of action, a lot of carries, and he's had a lot of success tonight as well.
Yeah, and it's awesome to see a freshman have that kind of success. Steven Shepard, who just checked in, he was that way last year, huge for the Badgers. And so when you see depth in your running back position, you just love that. So Cantwell tries to find some space, and he just throws the ball away. What a smart play by Cantwell, being aware of there's nothing open, just throw that ball out of bounds. And there on the defensive play was Xavier Garcia.
Very heads-up play there from Cantwell. Don't force anything. You're driving. Don't create a turnover opportunity for the defense. Got outside, was under pressure. Nothing was open downfield and just threw it away. Heads-up play there by Cantwell.
So it's third down. 8 yards to go, 4 minutes left. I believe this is fourth down territory where they didn't at least pick up half of it because there's not enough time to have a defensive stop and come back with it. They come with the blitz. He steps in and wide open pass to Fackrell, and Fackrell drops the ball across the middle. What a disappointing drop for Fackrell. That was huge.
And Cantwell really stood in there, took a hit under pressure, and delivered it right on the money for Fackrell. And Fackrell just dropped it. And again, it's another one of those little mental mistakes. It's going to be the difference in this game, in a 6-point game.
So if you have a catch there by Fackrell, you're first down and 10 inside the 30-yard line. Right now, fourth down, 8 to go on the 36-yard line. And Snow College definitely, this is the game right here. If they don't make a play, I just believe that Snow College doesn't have enough time. So as Coach Britt Mon talks it over, we'll be back in a minute. Welcome back. Jeff Britton, joined along by Chase Metcalf. I was just talking to Chase at the break that this is the game right here.
Yeah, and it's interesting, and we'll actually watch the play, and then I'll kind of make my point, but this is a big 4th down.
Fackrell gets his chance again, and he dropped it.
And that was just an absolutely outstanding play by, it looked like number 44, Hippolyte again, and we've called his name a couple times. It looked like Fackrell had it, and he just stripped it out. And now, I mean, there's 3 minutes and 50 seconds, but now the timeout that you took to kind of draw that 4th down play comes into effect, because that's one more time that you're not going to be able to stop the clock. Now, 4 minutes is still a lot of time, and you can still get a stop even if you give up 1 or maybe 2 first downs. But man, does that put a lot of pressure on your defense, and another big drop, and more than just a drop, a great play there by the defense.
It'll be interesting to see what the Broncos do here, if they decide to try to run the clock out, or if they're going to get gutsy and start to throw the ball again, maybe give Kramer the opportunity. Nearly fumbled the snap there. The run up the middle, no gain. And the Badgers and the Broncos, things are getting a little chippy there. It was Curtis Tafua there on the play.
It looks like the Badgers are going to go ahead and use their 2nd timeout there. And so really it comes down to these next couple of plays. You'd imagine that, that the Broncos would run on this next play, but the question is, if you get into a 3rd down situation, do you go for the 1st down through a pass, knowing that if it falls incomplete, you stop the clock, you save a timeout for the Badgers? I mean, what do you think there?
If I'm the Broncos here, I run one of those little swing passes that they've been really playing really well, or I run one of those out routes that they kept running to Callaway. They just do that quick little out, and then he makes the play happen in space. Makes the Badger defense make a play. That's what I would do personally. I'd run out here on 2nd down and then run one of those passes on 3rd down. Just something easy, something short, and then stay in bounds, run the clock out, try to get the 1st down.
We'll see what they dial up.
So the Badgers jump off sides, and that's going to be 5 yards. So the Badgers just not staying disciplined as Cardone Malin jumps off sides. And now that puts a great opportunity for the Broncos to get a 1st down.
And just another mistake by this Badger team. They've had probably 4 or 5 mistakes in this game that has really been the difference of them being up by 10 points or them being down by 6 with under 4 minutes to go.
Really shooting themselves in the foot, and they run that little swing play out to the side. The Badgers are there to make a play, and they run him down. It looks like it was number 95 or 94, Handsome Tenelue.
That's a great first name there, Handsome.
So now it's 3rd down. And 3 to go. 3 minutes, 22 seconds left. 22 on the play clock. So they can run it right down under 3 minutes before they snap the ball. But the Badgers must get a stop. They still have the 1 timeout if they can get the stop.
This is a huge 3rd down here for this Badger defense. You'd assume that they're going to run the ball, but we'll see.
Little toss off to the side. The Badgers there, and they eat it up. This is where Coach Mon will call his timeout. And there on the play was Curtis Taufa.
And we have called his name numerous times tonight. He has come up big time and time again for this defense. And you see a little pitch to the outside. Taufa comes flying in from the 2nd level to make that play. A huge stop for this Snow College defense, and they're going to get the ball back with 2.5 minutes left and a chance to win this game.
So the Badgers elect not to use their timeout. Pretty smart call there by Coach Brent Marr. The punt's up and high. Parker Prater there. Looks like he's going to try to field it, and he does, but he goes out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. So with 2 minutes left, the Badgers have got to drive the field and score a touchdown.
It's definitely possible. We've seen them move the ball successfully, in different parts of this game. They've struggled a little bit in the fourth quarter, but this is where we find out what Stephen Cantwell is all about. I'm sure they have a 2-minute offense that they practice all week long, and it's going to come down to this. Can he bring this team with 1 timeout in 2 minutes? They got to go 88 yards, score a touchdown, and kick the extra point, but they have a chance to win this.
If you're a big Badger follower, if you remember last year, kind of the same scenario, but it was against the Scottsdale, Arizona Artichokes, and a bad snap there, and it looks like there might be a penalty on the Badgers.
This actually might be a false start that saves the Badgers there, as there was a horrible, horrible snap that really would have taken Cantwell back down to about his own 2-yard line. So, for once, you actually might be a little happy with the false start penalty there.
Yeah, so now the Badgers are in a tough situation. First down and 15 with 2 minutes and 9 seconds left in the game. As I was mentioning that game last year, they drove the whole field and got stopped on the 1-yard line and lost it.
Oh, geez.
So hopefully we don't see one of those again. Fake handoff, Cantwell, he's got a lot of time. He's trying to find some space, and he does. He's going to run. He'll probably pick up about 10 yards and runs out of bounds. Smart play there. 2 minutes, 1 second left.
And because the clock stops when they're moving the chains, he has enough time.
Right.
He's got to be quick. He's got to run a hurry up, but he doesn't need to be incredibly stressed out about the time. So smart of him. Nothing was open downfield. Get yourself into a second and manageable, and live to see another down.
So the Badgers had him find some time. Cantwell trying to run the ball, and he does. He finds some space, and he gets tackled. The flag comes in late, and now it looks like they're going to call possibly holding.
Looks like it's going to be holding. And the crowd not happy about that one.
It was Garrett Bowles who had the penalty there. It's interesting to see how there's no flags, kind of a few flags thrown throughout the whole game, but then all of a sudden here in the last 2 minutes, 3 or 4 flags thrown, all against the Badgers.
It's been tough, and we've talked about this the entire fourth quarter, and I'll mention it again. So many little mistakes that have just cost the Badgers in this one.
It was second down in about 5. Now it's second down and 17. Going deep over the top. Almost all in. No.
Easy, guys, easy.
And here in the stadium, the ref has not turned his mic off, and you can hear him talking to the players, telling them, hey, easy, it's okay, as they're getting a little chippy down there at the line of scrimmage.
That's good. Let's go, Badgers!
So the pass overthrown there by Cantwell, and now it's a tough situation with 1 minute, 34 seconds left, third down and 17. I wonder why on second down they strike so far on that, though. You want to pick up at least half the yardage. You got to have a third down and short to have things a little bit more manageable, because now you're going to have to definitely go for it on fourth down. Complete.
Oh, wow, big catch there.
It's going to be marked short about a yard, so it's going to be fourth down and 1. It was a great catch by DeAndre Vines.
And he's another big receiver that they love. He's 6'3", and a great throw there by Cantwell. And Vines using his body to shield the defender, brings it in. Tiptoes there on the sideline to get a foot in bounds, and again, making it, instead of from a 3rd and 17, now a 4th and 1, and giving themselves a chance.
A minute 29 left in the game. The Badgers trail by 6. Fourth down and 1. Ball on the 27. Cantwell, he'll keep it right up the gut, and does he get the yard? He does. That's going to be a first down, but you got to get moving.
And I like the play call there from Coach Mon. 4th and 1, you're a little bit cautious about how much time you have left, but the first priority has got to be to pick up that first down. Your best bet at doing that, a nice little run up the middle with your quarterback.
So Cantwell has time over the middle. The Fackrell, he catches it over the cross. Fackrell comes up big when he couldn't in the first other 2 catches on the last drive. He's making it up for himself right now. Looks like he got hit in the arm because he's coming off with like a limp arm. And he'll sit on the bench.
And what a throw there by Cantwell, putting it perfectly over the middle in between 2 or 3 defenders.
A minute left. Cantwell trying to find an open receiver. He does. Quayle makes the catch. and then rolls out of bounds. That's another first down, so the Badgers are moving the change. There's only 58 seconds left in the game, so as soon as the ball is spotted, the clock will start, so the Badgers have got to keep moving it. The Badgers still have a timeout remaining.
And Cantwell right now is putting together a masterful drive. Again, finding another receiver for a first down. He rolls out of bounds, and they're going to stop the play.
Please reset the game clock to 58.5 seconds. 58.5.
And I believe the reason they're doing that is because the official ruled him out of bounds, meaning that the clock should stop. Now, if he had been inbounds when he went down,
they would have ran the clock.
They would have ran the clock after the chains had been set, and that's what the clock operator thought was happening. And so good on their officials to catch that and get an extra second and a half there for the Badgers.
So Cantwell staying in the gun. He's got plenty of time. He'll throw it over the top. He's open. Vines overthrew him. It was close. Vines was there. Almost connected for the touchdown, and that could have been the game with 52 seconds left. The Badgers still trail by 6. Second down and 10 on the 37.
I like the play call. A little
attack.
Post route, single coverage. You got a big receiver, throw it up there, let him make a play. Just overthrew him ever so slightly.
I like that play call. I would like to see the Badgers go back to what they were doing to pick up the yardage, and those are about the 10 to 15 yard comebacks and those digs that the receivers are running and Cantwell finding them open. Cantwell with plenty of time, step ups in the pocket. He's going to throw. No, he'll run. He's shaking and baking. He'll get all the way and get out of bounds at the 20-yard line with 44 seconds left.
And again, he shows you that he can hurt you with his legs. Nothing open downfield. He sees this space and he doesn't even second guess himself at all. He tucks the ball, runs, and a huge run there. Gains about 18 and gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Perfect play there by the Badgers. Now they're knocking on the door to maybe win this game. First down and 10 on the 19, 44 seconds left, 31 to 37. The Badgers still have their timeout. They haven't had to use it. Cantwell still has time. He's over the top. He's going to throw it out of bounds.
And I think he intentionally threw that one out of bounds. He looked over. That was the route that he wanted. That was his primary target. It wasn't there. It was covered very nicely. And so instead of maybe forcing it, throws it out of bounds, lives for second down, as well as stops the clock without doing anything foolish.
It was intended for Devon Vines. It looks like Cantwell, I just feel like they need to dial up some comeback, some type of out route to really get this thing going. They can easily get it another first down.
And with 40 seconds in a timeout, he can run the ball if he sees something open.
Across the middle, wide open, he breaks a tackle. He's going to get in. Touchdown! Number 84, Campbell. When he needs to, he came up big for the Badgers.
And that's the first time we have called his name all night, and he comes up in the biggest moment. And Cantwell, this entire drive, 3rd and 17, it didn't matter. 4th and 1, it didn't matter. He found a way to make the plays when it mattered, and they are an extra point away from going up in this game with 34 seconds left. What a drive.
And that's the difference between a 5-0 team and a 4-2 team. When you win, you find ways to win, and the Badgers have done that. Don't want to jinx them right now, but a field goal set as number 37 is set to kick. It's up and good. So the Badgers lead 38 to 37 with 34 seconds left in the game. Interesting game right there.
This has been absolutely incredible. You knew it was going to be a shootout. We talked about the two offenses coming into the game. 38-37. We didn't expect anything else. And man, has this game lived up to the hype.
So as the Badgers will probably pick up the win unless they do some type of something.
One, and don't forget here, Jeff, a field goal wins it for New Mexico. They have 3 timeouts.
So they
can get out of bounds. Again, the clock stops on a first down for the chains to move if you're tackled inbounds. And with 3 timeouts, it's not improbable to think that they could come down and have a chance at a field goal to potentially win it.
So what would your distance say to you? They got to get to about the 25-yard line?
You know, I would say so. Maybe the 25, maybe the 30 if they want to give them a chance. But I think that there's enough time that they can really move the ball. We've seen this offense move the ball all game long. and so they're going to have a chance at this.
The first time the Broncos are going to be able to field it, they filled it at the 1 yard line, and there's space, and they find it. One man to beat, and he trips, and he fumbles. No, and he was on the ground, but he had one man to beat, and he
And they
fell.
called that a fumble. They're still piling guys off the pile to see who's got it. And Snow came up with it.
But I feel like the whistle was blown and they marked him down.
There's
The
yet to
refs-
be a signal from the official. They're discussing it at midfield right now.
How? So he was ruled down. So you've got
And a
25
break for the Broncos.
25 seconds to go 30 yards. It can be done. We've seen them do it. They've put together a lot of good drives. But how unorthodox was that for number 32 of the New Mexico Broncos, Troy Gatling, as he was trying to pick up some yards, fell. He only had the kicker. He only had Dunley to beat. I don't think Dunley's tackled anyone ever.
He got caught up with the turf monster got him, as we like to refer it to, and Snow lucked out that did not turn into a bigger return. And just as we talked about, they'd have enough time. 28 seconds, 3 timeouts from the 42-yard line. They have a chance. They have a real chance here, Jeff.
The handoff up the middle. No, he holds it and passes it across the middle. Caught for big yardage. That's number 19, Cedarius Young.
And they're going to take a timeout, it looks like, as well.
Why is the clock stopped?
Because he called it.
Why?
So, interesting enough, the Badgers let a huge play go. 22 seconds left. First down and 10 on the 41. The Broncos definitely have a chance. We're going to take a break from all this in Texas action, and we'll be back in a minute. I love you.
Yeah, we're good.
Welcome back. Badger Stadium, Jeff Brayton, Chase Metcalf. Close one here. The Badgers only lead by 1. The handoff up the middle. The Badgers are there to stop them. A gain of about 4 yards. Of course, they give the ball to number 20. He's been the big carrier for them, Estrada. And
Interesting play call there, Jeff. I get it because they're trying to catch the defense, kind of playing a deep pass defense in the zone. But still, I get you have 2 timeouts. Now you're down to 1, which is 18.9 seconds left, and all you got was about 3 or 4 yards. And again, I don't personally agree with it. I get why they did it, trying to catch the defense off guard. But again, you have a quarterback who's just been shredding this Badger defense all game. Why not keep the ball in his hands and let him make a play?
No, I agree. I believe 100% that Kramer has performed so well today that you got to put the ball in his hands. He's your playmaker. Let him make plays. So, 18 seconds left. Snow leads it by 1 point. Kramer steps up in the middle. He's about to get sacked. He throws it away, shovel pass. And it was a forward pass. The line judge is calling.
Yeah, and the reason that Snow looked upset there is they didn't think that he had thrown the ball across the line of scrimmage. If he doesn't throw the ball past the line of scrimmage, then it would be intentional grounding. The ref was right there signaling that, in fact, it was past the line of scrimmage. Therefore, it's a good play. And now we bring up 3rd and 7 in 4-down territory.
Exactly. And Kramer was smart there to not get sacked. As he steps up and he'll get sacked. When you need them, they stepped up. Huge play there by number 92 of the Badgers, Santuala.
Santuala has had himself a nice game. He's handful of tackles. He's putting pressure in the quarterback. And right as Kramer's trying to step up, he kind of sucks him in and gets him down. And a huge stop there. Now it all comes out. It's 4th down and about 6. And even if they pick it up, they only have 8 seconds and no timeouts, to where they have to get the first down, get up there. If it's not out of bounds, clock the ball, and then try and kick a field goal. So again,
with 8 seconds, I believe that's so hard. So
it'll be close, absolutely.
What I believe is going to be drawn up is with maybe 5 seconds, you throw an out route to about the 25-yard line, and then you place it. If they get out of bounds, then you kick the field goal from there and try to win it. But
again, it's a long field goal, and again, the blocked extra point becomes such a big deal, and it looks like they're actually going to try and kick it right now.
They're going to go for it. This would be measured up to be about a 55-yard field goal. The kick's up, and it's blocked! The Badgers win it! With 4 seconds left, the kick was blocked.
And the second straight time that Snow has gotten in there and blocked the kick attempt. And wow, Snow is going to survive after facing 3rd and 17 from their own 11 with 2 minutes left. What a comeback. Coach Mon has got to feel really good about this one.
No, and I think it's a huge learning game for you, is that the Badgers, in all reality, came out lucky for me. I believe New Mexico Military outplayed them. Besides the last quarter, the last drive, the Badgers were able to hang around and put out a win.
You know, they were able to overcome the mistakes, and they decided to go ahead, and the clock has run out. They didn't stop it at the dead play. They let it run out. What a game. A huge win for Snow. They stay undefeated. They move another game ahead of New Mexico in the conference standings. With 2 games left, they now have a 3-game lead. They've clinched that conference regular season championship, and what a game.
So Snow picked up the win, and they'll be at Eastern Arizona next week in Thatcher at 7 o'clock, and New Mexico Military will head to play against, if I'm not mistaken, they'll be on a bye week if they're not coming up on the schedule, so it'll be on the 17th. So we'll continue to see a lot of action between the two teams. The Badgers now move to 6-0. They'll probably stay second place in the rankings. They might, in all reality, move down because of how close this game was. If another team outplayed another team, but they should be right there in the mix.
Well, we saw them jump last week. Butler, who was ranked ahead of them, and because of their big win against Phoenix, I don't foresee them really falling. I think it was a tough game. I think, you know, if the voters watched this, I think that they can respect the fact that they found a way to grind it out. But you know, regardless, when it came down to it, despite the mistakes, despite the turnovers, they found a way to win, and that's what you have to do to be a great football team. And Snow proved tonight, I believe, that they are that team.
So the Badgers win it 38-37 off a missed extra point, somewhat blocked, and then a blocked field goal. The Badgers drive the whole field to get the touchdown at the end. That'll do it for Chase. That'll do it for me, Jeff Brinton. We want to thank all of our camera crew out there that stuck it in through the sun and got the work done. Our next broadcast won't be until the next home game. That will be on Saturday the 24th against Pima Community College. That one kicks off at 11 a.m. Mountain West time. So you can join us here on YouTube with Snow Badger TV. So long.